Yo, fellas, right from the top, I would like to rank the 10 best defenders in the finals right now. We can go five. The five best defenders right now.
I think Bam is the best defender in the finals right now.
And there's no question.
When I think, well, on his team, he's the best defensive player, I think. And he's definitely better than any defender on that Denver team. He's better than KCP. He's better than MPJ. He's better than Jamal Murray. Joker puts in a lot of effort, but Joker isn't the defender that Bam is. So I think Bam is the best. I think Bam is the best defender in the finals.
Lying, man. You have to start the show line today.
Here we go with the line. Here we go with the line.
Defensively, bro. Stop lying, man.
If you disagree, you're lying.
All the cap you doing, I'm cutting that off every single day.
Okay, so before I go any further, Ticket, before I go any further, Ticket, tell us. So if I'm lying, tell me how I'm lying when Joker has the most contested shots in the NBA this season. Bro, the most contested, which means that the man is actually putting an effort.
Man don't move his feet,
he does. The problem that we're having is that he's not the athlete.
He's getting destroyed on the pick and rolls.
So
he getting destroyed.
That doesn't mean that he's not putting in effort. That's the part that you're missing.
He ain't going up.
You're completely missing the fact that he's actually putting in the effort.
Are you saying? You're saying? Sorry, I maybe I missed it. Are you saying, Jay, Jokic tries the hardest out of anybody right now defensively?
I'm saying that. I'm not saying that he tries. I'm not saying that. No, he did not say that, Ticket. What I said was,
I'm asking. Hold on.
What I'm saying is, I think Joker puts in effort. He puts in a immense amount of effort. He's just not as good as everybody else.
So that's just. It sounds like you're saying he puts in the most effort. Sorry,
I think, and since we're on that subject, Tony, I think that he is at that level with probably 2 or 3 more guys in this series. He's just not as good as everybody else.
Deal with this guy.
I've seen instances where I've seen. I'm done talking. I'm done talking.
Every day,
let him finish his opinion.
Every day, I'm coming for your helmet. Because he lies every day.
It's his opinion. Let him say it.
Hold on. He started off the other day.
Let him finish his opinion.
He started off the other day, backing up all that stuff Lowe was saying. All of it was lies. Coming in here talking about the way we thinking about Jokic is how we was thinking about Hakeem. That's a lie. We weren't even thinking nowhere near the same. That's a lie right there. Second lie is he says Jokic putting all this effort in defensively. That's a lie. Who's having the best series for Miami right now? Jokic's man. Jokic's man is getting all kind of open shots. He ain't trying to take this dude out the game. These is facts.
He's not saying he's a good defender. He's saying that he's putting in effort.
No, he's not.
You got to listen sometimes.
Hold on. I heard what he said. I heard the cap.
Ticket, man. I'm sure someone's mama, if not your own mama, told you this. You have 2 ears and 1 mouth because you're supposed to listen twice as much as you talk.
Man,
not
listen,
10 times as much as you listen.
I'm at the level I am.
Not 10 times as much as you listen.
Everybody up here knows what they talk about to a certain extent. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go around the room and I'm going to ask everybody their top 5 defenders in the NBA Finals right now. Mars, I'm going to start with you.
Bam, Jimmy, Aaron Gordon, KCP,
Definitely tricky.
It's tough after that.
It's very tough.
I mean, at this point, I'm thinking Hayward, Highsmith, MPJ, Jokic. I'm Bruce Brown. I got 4. The 5th spot, I don't know, but I've got 4. I don't know where to go with the fifth one. So
cool.
Yeah.
Who you got, Fluent?
Those 4, and then maybe Bruce Brown. But I'm the same way. It's after those 4, man. It's not a lot of defense.
Okay, and I'm asking this question to get somewhere too. Chill. Yeah. What are you thinking?
The same 4 that he said, but I would go Caleb Martin at number 5.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
Ticket.
Man, Chilltown's a liar, and I love him. The reason why he's lying is this. The reason why he's lying is this. He just said Jokic gives the most effort. Jokic is having the worst defensive season of his career. Look it up. I'm not lying. This season is Jokic's worst defensive season of his career, Ron. Google it. You can look it up.
Even if that,
wait, what are we meant to Google? What are we meant to Google?
No. I'm saying Google Jokic's his defensive statistic and his rating for this season.
Oh,
All across the board. Hold on.
Wait.
All across the board, he's having his worst defensive season, bro.
Even if that's true.
This. Hold on. Chill town. I didn't even care about your list. I'm talking about this stuff you saying about Jokic, bro. Bro, we can't do this to Hakeem, bro.
All right, let's talk about it.
Hakeem was excellent on both ends of the floor. When you said it the other day, that really bothered me, bro.
The hell does Hakeem have to do with this?
What does Chill, he's stuck on when Lowe came up here and said that Jokic is playing at Hakeem's level right now, and you agreed with him.
No, I didn't say that.
No, I did not say that. Lowe didn't say that. Chilltown said before Lowe talked. Chill said, Lowe, before you go, I want to say this because I know what you're thinking. He says the way you thinking about Jokic right now is how we was thinking about Hakeem back then. That's not true, bro. Here's the reason why I disagree with Chilltown. And I swear to God, I love Chill. That's my boy, but I ain't gonna let him cap. Bro, Jokic got to earn this, bro. He ain't first of all, offensively, okay, cool. He got nice post moves in the post. No problem. Okay, cool. Bro, we seen Hakeem do it without a second piece like Jamal Murray. We seen him do it. Jokic, he can't get out the second round without a second guy like Jamal Murray. We seen Hakeem win a chip. Jokic just went against 2 8 seeds and a 7 seed Mars or a 4 seed in the playoffs. So we praising him for these performances, right? Okay, cool, no problem. Then he says Jokic is moving his feet and all this other stuff. That's a lie because Jokic is getting exploited. Last game, Jokic was getting absolutely exploited on that pick and roll action with the Miami Heat. He wasn't even going up. That's a main reason why they were hitting a lot of shots last game because he wasn't going up. He was just camping out in the lane. Then with Bam is his man. Bam is actually cooking this dude. Bam is shooting over 50% on him this series on jump shots. So how is he playing good D if he's not even trying to play defense? That's my whole point with you.
So let's rewind the clock, Ron. So we'll start with in 1994, before the Houston Rockets won the NBA championship, when they were rolling to the NBA finals, they had won 22 out of their first 23 games. Not only did they do that, Hakeem Olajuwon was fantastic. And when they got to the finals, the way we were talking about Hakeem Olajuwon is the way that they're talking about Joker today. That's the way that they were talking about him. This is the 2-time league MVP that's in the NBA finals today. We're not talking about Joker as a player being the same player as Olajuwon. What we're talking about is Joker talking about him like we talked about Olajuwon, not the same player. That's number one. Number two, Joker has never been an elite rim protector. So his ability to block shots, that's never been in question. No. However, I've seen Joker who gets in pick and rolls, and instead of sliding his feet, he actually makes a U-turn when he gets in pick and rolls because of the athlete that he is. And he's not that good of an athlete, but he is putting in effort. So he is putting a hand in Bam's face. Even though he's not the rim protector or the shot blocker that you would like for him to be, he is putting a hand in Bam's face. He is challenging shots. He is making an effort to rebound. He is trying to slide his feet. That doesn't mean that he is a great defender like you just mentioned. He is not any of those things. What he is, though, is putting in the effort. Because he's not putting in the effort and the results aren't what you like, that does not mean that he's not putting in the effort, and it does not mean that I'm lying.
Okay, well,
so you're not saying he's a great defender. You're saying, unlike what I said, kind of middle of the season when Denver had their worst 5-game stretch, according to Mars, where he wasn't putting in effort. You're saying he's still trying. He's just at a disadvantage because he doesn't have the athleticism.
I'm just not that good. How about that, Tom? I'm trying to do it. I'm just not that good. That's all. That's all it is.
All you gotta do is Google the video for the playoffs on Jokic on defense. It's so many possessions where he ain't even moving his feet. Dudes is walking past this dude. Everybody in the comment section
I think what he's trying to say is his feet are like two cinder blocks, and he can't always move his feet.
Fluent. This dude don't move. Only thing he do is swing his hands, bro. I have the video from the regular season and the postseason. I have the video on Jokic on defense. He ain't moving, bro. The only thing he do is swing his hands when you go by him. He don't even try to move his feet. That's dummy defense. I'm not lying to Chilltown. I don't disagree with the stuff he said. What?
So you don't think Jokic is an underrated defender?
No, hell no.
No way. No, I'm not saying that.
Hey, yo, listen,
Underrated.
Listen, Ron.
No.
Oh, my mama,
If you say he's the worst defender in the league, That's underrated.
That's a little underrated. Yeah.
He's one of the worst defenders in the league. Yes. Bro, Tone, you think he tries?
Okay, I've said this already. I went in the middle of the season, bad timing, and I tried to, and I thought he was lazy on defense, and my eyes proved my hypothesis correct. Now, does that mean I watched all 82 games? No. So other people told me that was the worst stretch that they played, and he does put in effort. And I will say this, in the playoffs, compared to that stretch I saw in the middle of the season, he was trying harder in the playoffs than I saw him during that stretch. Yes. Now, does that mean he tries as hard as he can? I don't know. How do we know? How do we know? He might be trying as hard as he can. How do you know, right? Like that's the thing that we can't measure his effort. Does it look like he's doing it?
Right.
No, but let me give you an example. One of the knocks, and I know this player really well, that's why I'm using him as the example. One of the knocks on Tracy McGrady was that it looked like he wasn't trying. But that's because the things he did were effortless. And so people didn't realize how hard he was trying. So that's why I say when you look at Jokic, it might look like he's not trying, but he might be trying. And like I said, I see him trying now in the playoffs harder than he did that stretch when I went and watched him to see because I thought he was lazy.
I just saw a video yesterday. There's video chopped up. They chopped it up with this dude's defense. And he's not even trying, dog, in the playoffs. I'm not lying to you. If I could send Ron the link, that's why I wish we could play this.
We've had plenty of.
Let me ask you a question. So you saw some clips together of him playing terrible defense.
No. This channel, and I don't want to shout at the channel, but they put up the defensive clips of every possession, every game.
I guarantee you, I can show you any player. You pick any player, and I can show you them looking great.
Where they chilling on defense. Where they chilling on defense.
No. Listen,
including guys like Kawhi Leonard, including guys like Olajuwon, including guys like that, where they're chilling on defense. Chilling.
My whole point to chill is this, bro. Bro, let's stop giving it to him until he earn it, bro.
He's earning it, Ticket. That's the difference. That's the difference, Ticket. No. He has not earned it yet. However, he is earning it. Ticket. I didn't get paid. I don't get paid until Friday. That doesn't mean that I'm not earning my pay. It's Tuesday. Can we wait till Friday? I'm still earning my pay. So the same logic with Joker. He is earning that reputation of being great.
He gonna be the reason why Bam win Finals MVP.
You get fired. I give it's fired from your job for stealing some boxes. All right, go ahead.
Yo, so I asked everybody their top 5 defenders, and we all kind of struggled to find that fit.
Say my top 5. I was going at chill, and I just
go ahead.
I think Jimmy's a better defender than what Bam is playing right now. Jimmy got on old boy in game 2 and cut that 29 to 30 off all the way to 18. Bam being on Jokic still out here getting 40.
He had 40 in that one game.
Jimmy jumped on old boy. He jumped on him last game and cut the 28-29 he was getting damn near every game to 18 points.
And Joker got 40 in game 2. And he had 40 in game 2. In game 1, what did he do?
Like 20, what?
28. Right. So what happens, Ticket? It happens.
With Bam guarding him. No.
Even with Bam guarding him. So with Jimmy Butler guarding Jamal Murray, if he goes off for 32, is Jimmy Butler still the best defender in this series?
No, I'm not saying that. No.
What are you saying then, Ticket?
I'm saying I doubt he does that if Jimmy's guarding him full time. Because look if you go back and watch the game and look at the attention to detail Jimmy was putting on him. Mm-hmm. Jimmy was pushing him to sides he don't like to go to, making him have to go in his bag even deeper to try to get up shots. And he felt real uncomfortable in the game last game. Game 1, he got the roam free. Jimmy wasn't on him like that. They put Jimmy on him. That's a dude that's been dropping. He's a dude that's been dropping dudes off the whole playoffs. Nobody had an answer for him in none of these series, pretty much.
Right. With that being said, Ticket, we're talking about Jimmy Butler, who's a bigger defender, who's a more rangy defender, who's a more versatile defender. So I will give you credit in that aspect. However, we also are talking about Jamal Murray, who's one of the better tough shot makers in the playoffs. Not just tough shot takers, but tough shot makers in the playoffs. And he has one of those games where once he gets going, he's pretty impossible. So with that being said, we'll see game 3, because game 2, I'm on board with you in game 2. But in game 3, when adjustments are made and that offense gets a little bit more fluid, and even if Jimmy is covering him, you have guys, Ticket, you played pro basketball and you know how good pro basketball players are. Once you get going, especially guys like Jamal Murray, Joker, Jimmy Butler. Once you get going, they're pretty impossible to deal with. The idea is to slow that down, not to stop them. So I'm interested to see how Jimmy Butler slows Jamal Murray down. I'm real interested.
He chasing him. He chasing him off every pick. Matter of fact, on that last possession, he was away from. He ran to go get him on that last shot last game.
And we've seen Jamal Murray make that shot before, more than once, more than twice, right, with great defenders on him. We've seen him do that.
Jimmy did run up and affect him though. If Jimmy don't run up, he maybe get a cleaner look than that and hits that shot. Jimmy ran up to him on that last possession. Jimmy was down, and he ran up to find him.
I know what you're talking about. Were you talking about when right before, instead of him staying on the left side of the floor, he ended up pushing him to the middle and then reached, which threw his rhythm off, which is fair. I'm gonna get with that reach, which is threw his rhythm off. But again, I've seen him go up against guys who are damn good defenders where they've done stuff like that, knocked them off balance. Right. But I'm knocked him off balance, and he's made tough shots. Now, with that being said, Ticket, when we get to tonight, I think he's going to be more prepared for Jimmy Butler to be on him full time. So I'm interested to see how that goes.
Bro, my brother, I don't think he goes for 30. None of this series. Like he been doing the other series with Jimmy on him. I don't think he do that. And listen, we talk about Jimmy's offense. I think that's why that's affected Jimmy some on offense too. Because when you got to chase a guy that prolific around, it does take a lot out of you when you're trying to stop a guy defensively like that. So I will give you that. But my whole thing to you, bro, about Jokic is this. Bro, not only is Jokic getting exploited in those pick and roll, in those pick and pops, in those situations where they're hitting threes on the offside, he's also getting exploited, bro, by Bam. Bro, Bam is shooting over 50% on Jays, on jumpers in his dude face. He's not getting up on Bam when Bam is shooting those shots. Go back and look at Bam's shots, bro. I'm going to send you in the private chat the link to the video, the dude who puts up every clip of every possession, bro. Go look at him. I'm not lying to you, bro. Bam is that's why I told y'all he going to eat all series long.
Now that's fair, Ticket. That's a fair point. But considering how Bam has been playing offensively in the series, you ever think that might be part of the game plan? Because he's gotten those shots in the Boston series. He got those shots in the Knicks series. He also got those shots in the Milwaukee series. So that might be part of the game plan with the Denver Nuggets. So I think Mars might have made a point about it. But when I think about it, maybe the idea, which may very well cost them because they got to do something different now. But maybe the idea early was that, we'll eat the 15-footer from Bam. We'll eat that mid-range from Bam because he hasn't really been that efficient this playoffs. It's not just about Joker not putting in effort. That may very well be part of their defensive scheme. Unfortunately, it hasn't worked right now, and they're going to have to do something different because if it keeps going like this, Bam may very well be finals MVP if they keep winning. But that may be very well part of their plan defensively.
Yo, Ox. I asked everybody up here there. First off, how you doing today, bro?
Big Ox, what up, brother?
What's good, yo? I'm tired, bro. I just got off the freeway, man.
Oh, okay. It's gonna be one of those lethargic episodes from you.
Nah, I'm
get my tone. Get my man a cup of coffee.
You need an espresso, brother? You need an espresso?
Get my man a cup of coffee.
Mars and Fluent bringing the energy, So.
All right, Ox. So I asked everybody up here their top five defenders.
Got my boxing gloves on early this morning. I'm ready. I
got the pass.
Yeah, Ticket got my boxing gloves on early this morning. I'm down. Let's do it.
Top five defenders, Ox, in the finals right now. Who you got?
Top five defenders in the finals. Okay. So I caught the end of that. So I was thinking top five, just regular defenders. I was wondering how was it hard for y'all to come up with five. But in the finals, okay. So I'm gonna go. Bam. I'm gonna go Bam 1.
Mm-hmm.
Jimmy 2. Aaron Gordon 3. KCP 2. All right, Bruce Brown. Bruce. All I know is Gabe Vincent's number 5.
All right.
I think Gabe Vincent's under. I think he's doing a good job out there.
Bob, how you feel about Caleb Martin as a defender?
I mean, he puts forth the effort. That's more than you can ask. That's not more than you can ask. That's all you can really ask. Like I need you to go out there and put forth the effort, and just compete. Get a hand up in jump shots. Try to beat your man to the spot. Don't what I'm saying? Don't let people just cut right in front of you. Just basic principles. Keeping your butt to the baseline.
Mm-hmm.
I think Caleb Martin does a good job. I believe, Ron, correct me if I'm wrong, didn't Caleb Martin, he played for Billy Musselman, right?
Yes, he did, at Nevada.
Eric, not Billy.
Eric, not Billy.
Eric Musselman.
Eric Musselman. I'm calling Billy.
Hey, that 2 year out of them two was impressive too.
Yeah,
I remember they was really doing that thing at UNR.
Yeah, he played for Musselman. You know, Musselman not going for that. So
yeah,
you know.
But with that being said, so I asked you guys the top 5 defenders for a reason, because it wasn't just a clear definitive 5. A few of you guys got the 5, and it was a struggle. Like, man, who can we really put at the 5th? And so the reason why I'm asking this is I want to know, is this series, I know defense wins championships, but is this a championship that's going to be won on the defensive end?
I got him. I got the tape, Ron, for right here from Player's Choice. Put me up in the headphones, Ron. I got him. I got Fluent on his helmet on his Jokic stuff. Turn it up, Ron. I'm up right here from the Player's Choice. 1 month ago, we talked about this, and this is what Fluent had to say to Grilltown just 4 weeks ago.
That's what I was getting to. So when he's in the paint, I watch him dig a lot with big guys. I watch him dig a lot.
Defense are swiping at the ball.
I watch him. He digs a lot. He's not really much of a rim protector, and that's largely due to Joker not being that athletic. I mean, he could barely jump over a bucket, right? So he's not really rim protecting like Embiid. He ain't rim protecting like Rudy Gobert. So he digs a lot. But
okay, hold on. I'm gonna eat to that right now. Marc Gasol wasn't athletic, but he was one of the best defenders in the league. Sir. So no excuses, sir. Yeah, and Fluent's gonna back me up. Fluent's gonna back me up on that. Go ahead, Fluent, back me up.
With Jokic, there is an effort issue. It's not hands up is one of them, but you know that's effort getting your hands up. But he also does not put in it's effort. I don't know how else to describe it.
Oh, you're going off that one game that you saw when he was there. You going off that one game that you saw when he was there.
No, the reason I went to watch is because there were things I was seeing on TV that couldn't see what's happening off camera. So I went to watch every second, and it just confirmed what I thought from watching him on TV. Second, by the way, in defensive rebounds, Sabonis is first. Shut up,
Ticket, you're proving my point, Ticket. That's what you're doing. With this information, you're proving my point.
Live to confirm what he was thinking, and he said it's an effort issue. I was telling you, but you said he be giving effort. And
which he does.
And we both said that was an issue middle season. That's why we brought it up.
No. This was 3 weeks ago. This was 3 weeks ago.
And he's done better than that.
Hold on. I got the tape right here. Hey, Ron. This is from 3 weeks ago. It says why Nikola Jokic is horrible on defense 3 weeks ago, right here on the Player's Choice.
But yes, we were referring to that game. I think it was in March or April or whatever.
When he came up to Toronto. That's what we were talking about. There is no so now. This is what he was talking about. He was referring to when Denver came up to Toronto, when he actually went to the game to see him for his own, see him with his own 2 eyes. That information that you just gave up, Ticket, basically proved my point because I said the same thing to you that I just said to Tom.
Hey, it's a chilling voice, baby.
No, it is not. This is not. This is not us two against you.
Thursdays, let me get it.
Yeah, Doug. Yeah, Doug. Roll with me, Doug.
Ticket, it's not us.
They cappers, bro.
Okay.
Mars was on there with me too, and Mars was saying it too.
Saying what?
Oh, you heard what you said.
He's a lazy defender who doesn't give effort, Mars. He's saying you agree with him.
He's not a good defender moving his feet. I got y'all all on tape. This is
why would I argue that?
Right. No. Because Grillio Sparks, Grilltown up here, coming here lying, talking about man, Jokic out there giving all this effort, moving his feet. That's a lie.
Real quick, Ticket. Hey, Chilltown, did you put Jokic in your top 5 or something?
I did not, sir. No.
He talked about him. He was saying, Bob, he said Jokic up here giving all this effort, moving his feet, all this other stuff. I said he ain't doing that, bro. What you think, Bob?
I'll go back and forth with that because typically, initially, I was saying that Jokic don't play no D. And then I kind of start seeing some effort, but Tickets, I got to agree with you though, bro.
Now, there's a difference between trying and being able to do it, right? Like,
there's a big difference. There's a very big difference.
I'm not picking on Mars, but I'll give you a great example. Mars, we know, isn't the tallest guy. Mars could go and try to dunk his hardest every single day. He could go try 1,000 times. Probably not going to do it, right? So it doesn't mean he's not trying. He just can't. So to say Jokic is not trying to play defense versus he can't play defense, they're just two different things. He might be trying. He just can't do it. The way we want him, because we want him to like block shots and be a rim protector and move his feet and stay in front of his man. Who's he staying in front of?
That's true.
Even if he goes his fastest, who is he staying in front of?
Hey Morris, if you're trying to dunk and you're just barely not getting there, even y'all in the chat, if you're having trouble dunking, a lot of times people take off too close to the rim. So
jeez.
Take off a little further away. I guarantee you, it's a lot easier to dunk that way. It doesn't sound like it makes sense, but trust me, take off a little.
What we always told, if you can do all he does on offense, that you should be able to get that effort on defense is effort.
I believe so. I've never been.
We watched Marcus Gasol, who's just as unathletic as Jokic, win a Defensive Player of the Year award. How is that? How is the dude that's slower than Jokic and all of this other stuff, how did he win a Defensive Player of the Year award? We're going to get up here like Grilltown and give all these excuses to Jokic about why he ain't doing this, why he ain't doing it. He ain't got no problem having energy when he playing offense.
So let's discuss that for a second, Ticket. Let's discuss Marc Gasol, who, number one, was on the best defensive team in the league. Not only was he on the best defensive team in the league, he had two additional guys, in addition to himself, be on the all-defensive team with both Tony Allen and Mike Conley. So add that to the fact that team being as good as it was defensively. I'm sorry, Mars. Add that to the fact that we're talking about a guy in Marc Gasol who had immense amount of help. When you playing on a defensive team that's that good, your effort defensively goes up, as opposed to he's not playing in New Orleans. He's not playing in Minnesota or somewhere where, like what Rudy Gobert was doing in Utah.
Better athlete. Gasol's also a better athlete than Jokic.
I was actually getting to that. I was actually getting to that.
Yeah.
So I was actually getting to that. So with Joker, even though he's their leading rebounder, even though he was, I believe it was last season, he was their best shot blocker. With all of that being said, Denver was an average defensive team. They weren't nearly as good as Memphis. So to bring up Marc Gasol one-on-one
over to Toronto. Everywhere he goes, the defense is better. Why?
I'm glad you brought up. No, actually, it's not. You know why? It's not because if I'm not mistaken, was Kawhi Leonard on that team and the defender that Kawhi Leonard was? No. We're not talking about that. Was Serge Ibaka on that team also? Was Kyle Lowry on that team also? I mean, we're not talking about Marc Gasol playing with average defenders. He's playing with other elite defenders. So you're going to look a lot better when you're playing with guys like that.
And Jay, I know you hate this part, but he also didn't have the offensive responsibilities that Jokic has, which takes something out of you. I know you don't like that, but it's true.
Not even close.
Man, hey, Fluent, man, you're sad because you live in Toronto.
Because I tell you the truth and you don't like it. I'm sorry.
You saw it, and you know good and well that you sit up here and lie to the people.
I said throughout the season, I would have agreed with you. The question was, is he trying in the playoffs? And I've said I think he's trying harder than he did during the regular season. Yeah,
I think there's more effort. I think there's
more effort in the playoffs.
No, you said Marc Gasol was more athletic than Jokic.
Oh, Marc Gasol, especially in Memphis, way more athletic than Jokic. Absolutely, absolutely. You want to Google it? Go Google it and watch the tape.
Ticket, do you remember Marc Gasol?
I know you like to do it. Marc Gasol is
a world-class athlete.
Gasol's a phenomenal athlete, but he is more athletic than Jokic.
All right, fellas, let's keep it pushing. What I wanted to ask you guys was, is this series going to be predicated on defense or more so offense? After the first two games, what do you guys think is going to actually win the series? You know, they do say defense wins championships, but is this a case where it might be the anomaly?
No, I think we've changed. I know that's a saying from our generation, and it's not so much true anymore. I think in today's game, it's offense with timely defense, because everyone's going to go on runs. Nobody's going to be playing. No one plays 48 minutes of tough defense anymore. But if you can get stops at certain times, right, stopping a run at the end of quarters, those types of things. So I think it's offense with timely defense is what's going to win. And you can probably see that in this series already, just 2 games in.
Hey, Diesel, you say I don't know the game, but you 450 pounds sitting on your sofa eating cheese dip, dog. Be quiet, man.
I don't know where that came from. But...
Nah, he's climbing in the comment section, keep running his mouth, talking about ticket this, ticket that, ticket this, ticket that. Man,
was it the guy that said you're 6'8" and couldn't dunk, yet there's a video of you dunking on 2 7-footers at once? Yeah, okay.
Right. Come on, dog. Let's keep it real.
Quiet, Diesel. I'm sorry, Mars. You were saying something.
I think defense still wins championships. I think last year the championship was decided by the fact that Steve Kerr made the clear adjustment to force guys like Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum to their left hand, made it hard for them offensively, and the fact that Ime Udoka played a drop coverage against Steph Curry and he ended up torching that defense. I think the defense was the reason why both those teams ended up winning and losing that series. 2021, I think the Bucks won entirely because of their defense, because that offense in the playoffs was mediocre. In 2020, I think the Lakers won because of their defense, because I think offensively they weren't spectacular. They didn't have much floor spacing, but defensively with Anthony Davis, KCP, Alex Caruso, etc., I think their defense is what got them over the hump. The Toronto Raptors, I think, is more of the same. Now, 2018 is where it gets a bit up in the air, because 2018, I think they just played the Cavs, so they were going to win. But I think that KD Warriors team is one where you'd say maybe defense isn't why they won. I think they were just better than every other team. But then the 2016 series, I think that was decided on the fact that the Cavs played a lot more physically on Stephen Curry, and that forced him to struggle a bit more. Also, maybe he was injured, maybe he wasn't, who cares? But they played more physically on Steph Curry. That slowed him down. 2015, I mean, the whole team was hurt. But even that was a defensive series as well. Neither team really played well offensively in that series, but Golden State just had a bit more firepower. But defensively, that was another defensive series where Steve Kerr made the adjustment to load up on LeBron James, go under the ball screens, make him a jump shooter, keep him out the lane. That was more defense. The 2014 Spurs, I guess you could say, was an offensive team. But for the most part of NBA history, I think I mean, most of these teams. I mean, the 2019
Raptors this year, the Lakers this year, for all intents and purposes, were a better defensive team than Denver, right? At least,
yeah. I think Denver's the anomaly. I think Denver's the anomaly of most championship teams, where I think defense has been a key pillar to most of these teams, like the Raptors, the Lakers, the Bucks, the Warriors.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
But Denver seems to be the anomaly. I don't think they're not the new rule. I think Denver's an outlier because of what they have at their disposal with Jokic offensively. But for the most part, throughout the last maybe decade or whatever, I still think defense has been the pillar to most of these championship teams and their aspirations.
But do you think it's lockdown 48-minute defense or situational, like I said, kind of getting stops when it matters or certain times? I don't see. Give me examples and prove me wrong. I don't mind. 48 minutes of hard defense that's consistently winning.
Well, I'm not going to hold you to 48 minutes. I don't think any team really has played 48 minutes of elite defense, for the most part. But I do agree that it's probably more sparingly. I think it's more team scheme oriented than individual lockdown defenders. I think it comes down more to coaching. I think Nick Nurse with the way Nick Nurse used Marc Gasol. I was going to bring up when you were talking about Marc Gasol. He used him as the guy who would just go and double people. He was so big. If you get in near the baseline, he would use him as a double. It's hard to make passes around him, and that's why he was so good. Even though he didn't really make him out to defend in space, because at that point, if you made Marc Gasol defend in space, he'd get cooked like Jokic did. But he used him well and managed to maximize his strengths and minimize his weaknesses. Steve Kerr has always been able to use his defense with Draymond Green, Andre Iguodala, Klay Thompson to the best of his ability with little minor adjustments that make it harder for superstars. But I don't think it's 48 minutes of Detroit Piston 04 defense. I don't think that's what you have anymore. Right. But I don't think many teams in history have really been able to do that. I do think it's about making the right adjustments at the right times to just slow down a team's offense to where you can get over the hump. And I think that's what most teams do, besides Denver, in my opinion.
Nice.
Chill.
One of the things I found out about championship teams is once we figure out how to play, nobody can really stop what we do. So, for example, with the Miami Heat, well, we recognize that we can't play the way the Denver Nuggets play because we don't have the firepower. Offensively, we don't have the firepower to play the way that they play. So what can we do to make them play the way we play? So maybe we can slow down Jamal Murray. Maybe we can force MPJ into tough shots, push him further away from the three-point line, make KCP play out of character the way that he does, and make the game just a little bit more gritty, make the game a little dirtier. So if we can do that, so now we're playing more the way we play and less the way that they play. And then after that, what it comes down to is now it comes down to fight. So who's going to fight more? Who has the bigger dog in them? I think about the 1991 Bulls. So after they figured out that the Detroit Pistons can't push us around anymore. Now this is just about us playing basketball and us playing basketball the way we know how to play. We realize that we are the better team. I think in this particular situation with the Denver Nuggets and Miami Heat, I think Miami is trying to get Denver to play the way that they play and basically get them into games where it's now come down to effort and fight. And if it's going to come down to effort and fight, Denver's in a lot of trouble.
Ox, how you feel about this series in terms of whether it's more predicated on defense or offense?
Can't hear you, Big Ox.
It's more offensively. I think so.
Mm-hmm.
Because
the team that scores the most points wins 100% of the games. Tell them, Bob.
I mean, that's definitely a fact. But I think it's offense just because, like, I think the bigger difference in game 2 from game 1 is just Miami making shots that they should have made in game 1, as opposed to what they did on defense. As opposed to just starting Kevin Love. I think that was just the big thing I was trying to harp on game 1. Like, Miami just missed a lot of easy shots. Or maybe not easy shots. I don't know if we can consider them easy, but shots that I think they would typically make. Mm-hmm. And that was more, to me, that was more of the difference than anything they did on the defensive end. You're not gonna stop Jokic from scoring. I know all the stats that we did yesterday about if he scores this many, they lose or whatever. Right. But that could just be coincidence, because that stat never says, well, what did the other team do? So,
and I also think Big Ox, when you're talking about Joker, I don't think that he's trying to I don't think Miami is making him into a scorer, right? Because at some point he's going to get those guys involved in the offense. Now he's going to have stretches where he has his offense going, like he had 18 in the third quarter, because that was something that I had to do. But that don't mean that I got to do that the whole game. And I think guys like Jamal Murray, I think guys like MPJ see that and they go, eventually, we got to help this guy out and we got to get going, because we're not going to win with this dude scoring 40. We're not going to win with this dude scoring 45. That's not going to happen.
Right. Well, and he does what he wants. He does what he wants to. That's why I was saying about all the schemes and whatnot with the Lakers and with this team, scheming and scheming that. Now you just gotta nut up and play defense, bro, because he's gonna do whatever the hell he wants. So you just gotta put your best effort forward and try to slow him down a bit. So,
Ticket, would you like to chime in on this?
Yeah. Man, I do think defense is gonna be big. And it's kind of ironic to me that Chilltown says if that's the case, then he doesn't favor Denver defense and effort as much as he talking about Jokic. So, I mean, like I said, man, Miami's just a harder working team, man, on both ends of the court. Offensively, they make you work a lot. And on defense, they work a lot. I saw something they showed on TV the other day, just the movement of all those guys on defense when they play in that matchup zone. Or when they're moving around, all these guys is like crab legs, man. They all moving around in unison, you know what I'm saying? And it's a beautiful thing when they're doing that and getting steals and they confuse you and stuff like that. They're locked in, bro. And to me, outside a couple mental breakdowns, one I seen early in the game where Kevin Love just doubled off his man for no reason, and Jokic hit him with an alley-oop dunk early in the game. Other than those like mental little breakdowns, I think it's going to be hard to beat Miami as they continue to hit shots like they've been doing all playoffs long. So the defense, man, as I said before, Denver really don't have no really great defenders like that. Mm-hmm. KCP is solid, but he's making a lot of mental mistakes. Michael Porter Jr. is a horrible defender. Jokic is a horrible defender. I mean, Jokic is the only dude you can go to YouTube right now and type in Jokic good defense, and all bad defensive highlights come up. Like, I swear, you go to YouTube right now, type in Jokic good defense, and all of his bad defensive highlights come up. And there's literally videos that say, can the Nuggets survive Jokic's defense in the playoffs this season? And
they play tonight or tomorrow night?
Tomorrow night.
No, this season. So far they have. But now that you get to the biggest stage, you know what I mean? Now, Miami, and that's the thing I like about Espo, he's putting them in compromising situations, especially in that pick and roll. If you watch Jokic in the pick and roll with Bam, Jokic is losing Bam every time. You know why? Because he's getting caught in no man's land. Jokic ain't going up hard on the pick and roll to trap the guard. And he just stand like he's he's staying where he's at. He's staying like he's just in like some type of just protection coverage, like he's just dropping. And his guy's coming too late. The other guy from the wing is coming too late to help. And Bam is getting layups or alley-oop dunks. So, as I said before, man, I don't think there's anything they can do about that, especially if Kyle Lowry going to keep hitting those crazy threes he hitting when he playing the pick. That dude hitting big shots. And every time you think he shoots it and it's not going to go in, it goes in.
which is amazing to me.
I forgot about Kyle Lowry.
Yeah, I
forgot about
Kyle Lowry. Hey, you mentioned you asked when the game is, and it's tomorrow. How you guys like this kind of 2 days in between games? Because I hate it.
Well, I only hate it because I want to watch basketball.
Right? Like, can it be
I like it for the rest of it. I like it for
because they've been playing every other day for like the last months.
Yeah,
I don't like.
I like it.
That Lakers series.
Too much rest.
That Lakers series was every other day.
In terms of seeing a competitive game, I would like to see the rest. But kind of how Bob said, as a basketball fan, I want them to play 2 games a day, if possible. You know.
Y'all ain't playing tomorrow. What we doing?
I want them to play every day. I want them to play best of 3.
They should play back to back, and then 1 day off when they travel, then back to back.
Hey,
they need to meet in a mutual location and play 3 games a day.
No, we did that in the bubble. We did that in the bubble. That dude.
I tell y'all this: the adjustment Mike Malone should make is come above Michael Porter Jr. and play old boy more. What's his name with the afro? Off the bench.
So you got Brown, you got Brown, you got Christian Brown, you got Jeff Green, you got Jeff Green.
You should play Jeff Green more in this series. Mm-hmm. Jeff Green to me is a better defender. He can hit the 3-point shot. He's more active posting up. I think that this is what I feel like. If you lose game 3, I'm cutting Porter Jr.'s minutes because he's not giving you much defensively. He is giving you a few offside, weak side blocks, but that's not really nothing in the scheme of things. And he's not giving you anything offensively. So to me, I would cut his minutes and roll with Jeff Green more.
How old is Jeff Green? Isn't he like 36?
36.
How does he still jump like that?
He doesn't age. He's a legend.
Well, with that being said, are you not afraid? With cutting MPJ's minutes? I mean, you brought this up in the Lakers series. With cutting MPJ's minutes, are you afraid of losing them?
No,
because I'm not talking about winning games. I'm talking about losing him. You may very well lose him.
But he's not a key. Hold on. But see, here's the thing, though. Jeff Green is so good still. He can still give you 20 to 25 minutes a game in his role. And the thing I like about Jeff Green, he's hitting the 3-point shot decent. I think he's shooting like around 40% from the 3 in the playoffs, if I'm not mistaken. And so he's hitting the 3-point shot decently. Every time he's coming in the game, he's exploiting the Miami Heat because he's going right to the block. He's either getting a jump hook or a foul going to the free throw line. He's supremely athletic. He's a way better defender. To me, if Michael Porter Jr. is not rolling in game 3, I kind of pull the plug on his minutes more and play Jeff Green more minutes. You know what I'm saying?
Right. I can get, like I said, I could get with the logic of cutting his minutes. The thing I'm concerned with, Ticket, is I'm concerned with losing him because it's a confidence issue.
That's off season. That's right. What you're
like. I get that question. I get exactly what you're asking, Chilton. I don't like to even have to think about that as an NBA coach.
That's what we are today, though. Unfortunately, that's what we are today in today's game because that's the mentality of a lot of these kids.
If you're not getting it done, you got to sit down. And if I sit you down, you can't bitch about it. You got to be ready to play. We might need you game 5. We might need you game 6. You need to sit down and maybe view the game. Let a legend, a legend like Jeff Green get out there and play. Watch what the vet does, and maybe you can. Get your game back going. I can't even consider not playing somebody because I'm worried about losing their. That's
the conundrum. That's the conundrum coaches face because
in today's game,
if I don't play him, I might lose him, and then I look bad as a coach because a good player, role player, whatever, has left the team and probably blames me for it. Mm-hmm. But if I play him and he's not playing well and it costs me to lose a game, well, then I'm a bad coach because I didn't pull him out and put in some.
It's a double-edged sword. It's a double-edged sword.
Floyd, to that point, and even a point the Ticket made, if you look at last game, Michael Porter Jr. had 5 points in 26 minutes. Jeff Green went perfect from the field, free throw line, 3-point line, field goal, and he had 9 points in 15 minutes. So do you think that, clearly you lost him. Clearly he was lost. You might not have lost him, but clearly he was lost. So don't you think if you would have switched that, if he would have made the switch earlier and just started playing Jeff Green for more minutes, think that might have helped him win the game?
I think a good coach, right, is going to see who's on and who's off, and you got to adjust in game. Like tomorrow, it could be Jeff Green that's missing all his shots, and MPJ's hitting them all. Well,
highly doubt that.
Well, even though I go in with a plan, I highly doubt it. But I agree with you. But if you can't, you go into a game with a plan. everybody has a plan. What did Mike Tyson say? Till you get punched in the face, right? So when reality hits you, you got to make those adjustments. And if you don't, you're going to lose.
Yeah, Michael Porter Jr., he one of those, he a microwave anyways. Like when he sees the ball go in a couple times, you're going to see a different Michael Porter Jr. as opposed to when it doesn't go in.
This thing is a bad shot.
And that's the issue that I'm having with him right now, though, Ron, because you do have primarily one job. Now, he's supposed to do other stuff, but primarily he has one job, make open shots. That's your job. Because other guys on the crew, you're not a playmaker. We already saw what he is one-on-one when Kevin Love had him on the wing. We already saw what that looks like, right? So get off the peel, right? So with that being said, you have primarily one job. And if you're not doing this one thing, you're pretty useless to us.
Hold on.
There's really not much that he can do. There's really not much else that he does.
Chill, let me address it on the screen. I was talking about this series, and I actually was wrong about the percentages. Right. Jeff Green is shooting 100%. He only shot 1-3 this series, but he's shooting 75% from the field this series. That's what I'm talking about. Michael Porter Jr. is shooting 29% from the field and 17% from the three this series.
Oh yeah, chill. We gotta sit his ass down.
That's why I said you got to get him.
He can bitch about it all he wants. He can stay in the locker room.
I can take it. I get y'all though, but here's also the thing. Michael Porter. No. I get you. But I'm saying the money's off the table. We playing for a championship right now. What I'm saying is, dude for sure has played bad the first two games, but Michael Porter Jr. the type to come out in game 3 on the road and give you 24. Do you see what I'm saying?
Ron,
Ron, I don't got time to play him because I personally think that the most likely situation of this two games in Miami, the most likely situation is that Miami goes back to Denver up 3-1.
He wasn't.
That's the most likely outcome from these next two games.
Yeah,
if I'm Mike Malone, I can't risk Michael Porter Jr. coming out doing the same thing he's been doing. I'll be ready to strangle him. And I can't risk that. Like I can't risk putting my hands on this young man. So I'm just gonna go ahead and play Jeff Green, and we'll see what happens.
Bob, I'm gonna say this right, and listen. They're saying small sample size. Well, I'm gonna increase the sample size if you shooting 75% from the field in 2 games and 100 from the 3. I'm gonna increase the sample size if you shooting 100% from the free throw line too. And then Michael Porter Jr. Hold on, this is how you know he's folding under the pressure. Again, for this series, the man has 19 points the entire series so far. In 2 games. So he ain't even averaging 10. He's averaging 9.5 points. Then he's shooting 29 from the field, 17 from the 3. Everybody else is solid. Murray's shooting 48 from the field, 33 from the 3. Aaron Gordon shooting 70 from the field, 66 from the 3. Jokic is shooting 60 from the field, 42 from the 3. And Bruce Brown is shooting 50 from the field, 50 from the 3. It's Michael Porter Jr. and KCP. KCP's 33 from the field, 33 from the 3 for this series. So that's what I'm saying. Jeff Green has given you much better production in a smaller time. I'm saying if Michael Porter Jr. come out on this cap, which I know he will again next game, because he's one of them dudes I can just tell he folds under the pressure. He's not really built for this moment. You understand what I'm saying? And he'll learn from this in the future. He's just having one of those moments now. I think if you want to save the series, if you see him like this in game 3, you have to make the switch and go with Jeff Green. Jeff Green has experience. And then there's another thing. He's only played like 8 dudes this whole series. Bro, you got to go to me.
No, the whole playoffs ticket. Don't stop with the series. The whole playoffs. That's his rotation.
They got Reggie, huh?
They got Reggie. They got Jordan. They got Jordan. Right. They got Reggie. They got other guys, but he's got an 8-man rotation. That's been the rotation since the first round. That's as far as he goes in his bench.
I understand DJ not playing, but
Mars,
I at least got to try Reggie.
Mars, they got Dubs, man, Thomas Bryant, and Bob. They got your partner Ish Smith as well. But Mars, I want to hear from you on the whole Jeff Green and Michael Porter Jr. thing. Would you reduce minutes, increase minutes, or would you do something completely different? What, as a coach, as Mike Malone, what would you do in light of the first 2 games?
Change nothing. Jeff Green has taken 4 shots in the finals. I don't know why we're using 75%. He's taken 4 shots. Like,
and he's made most of them. So I'm gonna hold on.
He's 3 for 4. Who cares?
He could go 6 for 8, Mars.
My brother, I want to increase that sample size, and the reason why I say
increase it for the playoffs.
Hold on. No. But this one I want to say.
9 for 12, Mars.
The difference between Jeff Green and Michael Porter Jr. is, Jeff Green has NBA Finals experience. I think he went to the finals with LeBron with the Cleveland Cavs, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, he did.
So he has finals experience, and he was one of the guys who actually.
So then why is KCP playing?
Hold on. Let me finish. So what I'm saying to you is this: I still want to roll with those guys that have finals experience more in these situations. When I see a younger guy like Porter Jr. falling the way he is in this series, bro. And like I said, I'm saying if he don't start off well in Game 3, I'm pulling the plug on that early because you don't want to go down 2-1 to Miami and then have a chance to make it 3-1 in Game 4. You don't want to do that, bro.
Pimp name Slipback. Just so you know, Ticket is saying increase his sample size. And if you increase his sample size, maybe you can increase his production. Remember, Jeff Green is only playing like 13 minutes a game in the series as of right now. If the minutes go up, you may get more production out of him. That's the logic.
And if you don't, just put MPJ back in.
He's taken 4 shots. I don't know why we're using his percentages as if that's.
But then that's largely due to the fact that he's only been on the floor, Mars, for 12 minutes, 13 minutes a game. Now, if that goes up,
because rightfully so, because during the playoffs he hasn't been shooting well. And he hasn't been playing great.
Series, he is playing well.
Mars, I'm on the fence. I'm
not about to defend the 4 shot sample.
I'm on the fence. I want to ask you a question. So you put a guy in for limited minutes. In those minutes, he plays hard. He knocks down 70, even though he only took 4 shots. He knocks down 3 of them. And you're struggling in certain areas, and you have another player who's hurting your team because he's shooting so poorly. Do you not inch up his minutes to see can he keep, now maybe not 75%, but like maybe he's just, there's something about his athleticism, the way he plays against a team. Sometimes there's just players who have another team's number. Do you not give him like 5 more minutes, 7 more minutes, and see if he can continue that pace and help kind of take away from your other player who's struggling? Why wouldn't you do that?
Because I don't see, I think the looks that Michael Porter Jr. is getting are perfectly fine, and I think if I'm Michael Malone, I live with the shots he's taking, and that's why I'm
even though he's missing them,
and that's perfectly fine. That's cool. That's cool. So I guess I need to take KCP off the floor as well.
I can see you living with him, Morris, but perfectly fine. I think that's a little overboard.
Michael Malone, I believe wholeheartedly the same way
no shoot in the finals round.
The same way Eric Spoelstra stayed with Max Strus after going 0 for 10. The same way Eric Spoelstra stayed with Max Strus after going 0 for 10. I believe Michael Malone is going to look at Michael Porter Jr. and the shots he's getting, and he was 0 for 10 in that one game, and he was 0 for 10.
Right,
I'm not done.
Okay, finish. Go ahead.
I believe Michael Malone is looking at the film and the shots that Michael Porter Jr. is getting and saying, I believe he is going to make these shots, and I'm living with the shots he's getting, and I'm not going to change anything up because our offense is getting the shots that Michael Porter Jr. can make. Now, if we get to game 3, game 4, and he still can't make a shot, maybe change it. After 2 games, no, I'm not changing it.
So let me ask you this. So Strus, you brought up Strus, went 0 for 10 in game 1, right?
Strus.
Whatever. Yeah. You know, I don't care about last names, as you know. So he comes out in game 2 in the first quarter, and instead of going, what did he go? 3 for 4, 4 for 5 in the first quarter? He goes 0 for 5. Do you still keep him in? Or do you say, hey, maybe I should give some of those minutes to somebody else?
If he's 0 for 5
or 1 for 5, whatever the number is.
If he's playing badly again in game 2, Max Strus, with what you have backing him up, which is Kyle Lowry, which is better than Jeff Green, I believe it even makes more sense to replace Max Strus than it does with Michael Porter Jr.
Okay, so
to me, Jeff Green isn't as good.
Again, my question wasn't to replace him. What I said was, if he continues to shoot poorly, instead of giving them 25 and 15, maybe I don't know if that's the minutes, go 20-20 to see if there's something there with Green, because there are guys. Tony Delk went for 53 against Sacramento when he was playing for Phoenix. He was having a good night. So there's just certain guys that just play well against other teams. You got to again. I'm not saying
Caleb Martin. Caleb Martin played well against this series.
If you want to give Jeff Green an extra 3 or 4 minutes,
that's what I'm saying. I'm saying 3, 4, 5 minutes. That's all fine. I'm saying.
I believe those minutes will come from Christian Brown. I think Christian Brown is going to play less. I think that's why
he's great
not because of MPJ. But
a couple more minutes. You can have picked a better example than that for him.
The reason why is because of the Sacramento Kings.
Tony Dog, dude. I'm sorry, I know Sacramento. My bad.
and to your point, Mars, I think that if they come out in game 3, I think Mike Malone, just like Eric Spoelstra, makes a concerted effort to now get MPJ more open shots to get his confidence going, just like Spo did with Strus, where he was running a lot of action for him. Like I saw the shots that MPJ was getting, and a lot of them looked out of control. A lot of them didn't look like they were
his
in the
shot selection is like he gets the occasional like good one, but there's some times where he's taking shots for no reason.
That's what I'm talking about, Mars.
That's who. I mean, it's the running joke. He doesn't pass the ball. If he gets the ball in a possession,
I like him.
Get ready for a rebound. Yeah, that's what he's gonna do. That's what he's gonna do. And I do think you're not gonna get that out of him mid-series. That's gonna
shoot the basketball. That's what you do.
I think Denver live with what Michael Porter Jr. does because they know that's what he's gonna die with it. They might die with it.
Mars, is it possible? So obviously, I'm not trying to make an argument that Jeff Green is better than MPJ. I'm not trying to do that. Let me just say that right now. But is it possible that he could be a little more valuable? Like just by IQ wise, being in the right places at the right time, making the right extra passes instead of forcing up, harder shots, keeping the pill moving.
That's the problem.
Keep going further because
on the defensive end.
There you go. Because we've only talked about offense. We haven't talked about his value on defense.
Running. Also, one thing Jeff Green does is still at this age, which I don't think is old. He runs the floor still. You know what I'm saying? He gets out like a gazelle. You know what I'm saying? He's still running out the floor.
Tony,
is it possible that he could be more valuable than MPJ? Because it's not like, if you ask me, it's like they really need either one of those two to score a shit ton of points. You know what I'm saying? Right. They could score with Jamal, Jokic. They got some buckets over there. So is Jeff Green? Could it possibly be that he is more valuable at this point?
Maybe, because the problem that we having with MPJ is that he primarily does one thing, and if he's not doing that one thing, he's pretty useless. He don't rebound like he should at 6'10", right? He can't get to the basket one-on-one like within that offense. He doesn't do that. So if he's not knocking down open shots, then there's really not much else for him to do on the floor because he doesn't defend at a high level.
The reason why you got to up Jeff Green's minutes, and I said play other guys. Eric Spoelstra's playing 10 guys in this series.
Yes, he is.
So he running in.
Malone's playing what? 7?
He's playing. This guy's playing.
Is it 8 though?
7.5. It's 7.5.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is it 8 though?
He's playing 10 guys, bro. He's playing Zeller, Martin, Kevin Love last game, Robinson, Struss, Highsmith, Lowry, Butler, Vincent, and Bam. So he's playing, bro. He's running in fresh bodies. So if you're Mike Malone, you get deeper into the series, bro. You're gonna have to. That's why I said last series he should play more into his bench. You got guys who got playoff experience, like the point guard that came from the Clippers. These guys got playoff.
That's what I asked earlier. Reggie Jackson, he's not getting nothing.
Right. So
why is that?
He hasn't played yet. That's primarily because of Jamal Murray, and because he hasn't played throughout the whole playoffs. He hasn't played much. No, you haven't seen him.
I'm also not mad at.
Or halfway through the season, everybody was loving Reggie.
Right. Yeah. Hey, but I'm also not mad at not playing either one of them. We can go small with Reggie, or we can just play Bruce Brown, KCP, Jamal, Aaron, and Jokic. Like that's 5 people right there. It's not like
you say you thought about fit it again.
He said not play any of those big dudes and go small.
Well, not any of the bigs. Just like you can. I mean, they'll be. I don't know if they'll be okay. I'm not sure what happened, but like they don't have to have MPJ or Jeff Green on the floor. Well, Bob, they can play Bruce and KCP.
Well, Bob, see, here's the thing though. If Miami, and this is why I was saying it was important about the bench, the way they play defense on that matchup zone, the way they move, if they keep bringing in bodies, this is one thing I have to agree with Chilltown to a point. When you get later in the game and you get like those guys are going to get tired defensive, they logging heavy minutes, and you running in fresh bodies throughout the game. Like even though they said that yesterday, remember I think it was Lowe telling you that Cody Zeller minutes was nasty. His minutes were necessary. Right. Those minutes, I think you and Fluent were saying that those minutes are necessary because he gives you a fresh body coming in there. And guess what? So now Bam is sitting on the bench. He comes back in refreshed, and you still got to run Jokic. You running Jokic damn near 40 minutes a game. They're going to run hot later in the series, and he's running fresh bodies. I just think that he got to try to mix it up and run maybe one other guy in there or up somebody else's minutes to try to even this thing out. And because each flow, he's running bodies, bro.
You ever try to shoot a 3 after playing 42 minutes? It gets harder.
But I know you ain't got a problem with it, though. I know that. I do know it's still going to go up, though. I do know that.
I'll get tired, but on offense, for some reason, I get
100% sure that bucket still looked the same size as it did in the first quarter.
Damn, they look bigger.
With this dude, you ain't got to worry about that. He's still cracking them.
All right. On that note, I'll be back for super chats. I'm going to the Eagle Beagle for a brewski.
We'll see you later. Speaking of super chats, let's go ahead and get into it. We got a few. We got a few to work with. Indoor Voices said, which championship would hold more weight for LeBron if he won it instead of lost? 07, 11, 14, 15, 17, 18.
07.
18.
That's a whole lot of championships.
07.
18.
07.
Why?
07.
07?
07 because you a young guy coming up, and you a young guy that if you step up and play big in the finals and you take out the Spurs, now that changes all the rest of that stuff. Now everybody comes to you. Now you are the league again. Now you are the league. So now you set the standard. You've done in Cleveland. You've basically put them on the map. You set the standard for the city of Cleveland. You've taken out the big dogs and the Spurs, and you've established that this is where it's at. So now all the free agents want to come side with you. That changes his legacy in the course of history now. He probably wins more championships, but he gets more guys that want to come play with him because everybody wants to go play with champs. That's the same thing that happened with Giannis after they won a championship in Milwaukee. Look at all the free agents that wanted to come sign and play with him. Now, they choked it up, but look at all the free – and we can blame that on Budenholzer.
Right.
We can blame it on the players, but look at all the players, the free agents that have came, taking less money, guys that have wanted to come play with you. So I think if he wins in 07 – that changes his whole course of history, and you probably don't get to 5 or 6 NBA Finals losses. Because now from a young cat, he understands how to win. All the big dogs want to come play with you. That keeps your life longer, and that helps you build your own palace in Cleveland. And I was watching some of LeBron's highlights yesterday from back in the day. Bro, he was a monster coming into the league. He was a big-time player, bro, those first 7 years in Cleveland. I think he should have just stuck it out, bro. And I think he would have broke through. I think he would have broke through, bro.
I gotta say 11. I'm not gonna say 7, 18, or what was the other one? 17, 18, and 7. I'm not gonna say either one of those because he didn't have no action. You know what I'm saying he wasn't going. I'm gonna say 11 because I think he actually could have possibly won that one.
I think for me, if he wins 2011. The narrative just changes from instead of he choked as well, he had a super team, he beat the team he was meant to beat.
That's what I was thinking.
That would give him a repeat though too.
Yeah, it would, but like at the same time, it's like, well, you had a super team, you three-peated with a super team. Okay, congratulations.
Yeah, 2018, he wasn't. No,
that's cool.
07.
That's cool. No, I don't think he was going to win 07. I don't think he was going to win 2018. But the question is, which one would boost his legacy the most? I think that KD Warriors team when Kyrie left. That Cleveland Cavaliers team, if you somehow beat that team, with the Eastern Conference run he went through, like how well he played, that's the greatest championship run of all time.
Well, hold on, but Mars, if he wins 07, you never see that team. So you never have to worry about that. If LeBron wins in 07, KD never goes over there. You never see none of that. Everybody's pretty much in their same places. So what I'm saying is if LeBron James wins in 07, he changes the course of his history of his career. It ain't no 6 NBA Finals losses. It's probably more wins because, like I said, you win in 07 with the team he had, bro. They're getting free agents coming over there taking less to try to play with him.
Why wouldn't they get free agents anyway? Ticket. That's the first time in the history. Even if he lost, but the fact that he lost, they actually got there. That's the first time in the history of that organization that they've been there. This kid is 22 years old. They ain't really paying nobody else. And you look at the crew that he was on. Why wouldn't other people want to come there? So because I don't think
everybody's addicted to the winning mentality.
So right.
For example, when you win, you know this, Chilltown. When you win, vets are going to want to come take less to play with you. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it don't matter what city you in. If they feel like you got a best chance to win, they're going to come rock with you. If LeBron wins in 07, if he wins that championship, bro, you know what that does for his career? Forget all the rest. KD don't go over there. All these other moves don't happen. We don't even know what happens with the Boston Celtics. If LeBron wins in 07, that changed the course of a lot of stuff, bro, that happened going forward. If he wins in 07, what happens to the Spurs team? What happens to that Spurs team if he beats them in 07? He wins that chip in 07. What happens to the Spurs team?
I think that they
going in a different route. They had the beef going on with Tony Parker and So do they have and we know about that. We ain't gonna talk about that's personal.
Right. Him and Brent Barry, you talking about.
Probably makes them make a move. If you lose that, I just think that LeBron's legacy would have been stupid crazy if he won in 07, because now I think that the guys who were questioning whether they were gonna go and play with him, I think they go play in Cleveland, seeing what he did and seeing how he's the giant killer basically.
I think it's 18.
Out of the way. Huh?
If 07 happens, that Boston super team definitely gets formed. Like if
no,
Cleveland win, Boston quicker to get KG
It doesn't because he might listen.
That might even do more than that.
Might get one of those guys.
Well, KG had a no trade clause, so he's not.
No. I'm saying no. I'm saying he might have got Ray. He might because remember, bro, that is true. Bro, what are you talking about? Bro, what are you talking about, bro?
I just disagree.
Hold on. Go ahead, Ticket. Wait, I just want to make sure I'm clear, Ticket. You're saying that if they would have won, then Ray Allen might have went to Cleveland instead of Boston?
Yeah, because listen. Yeah, that whole I'm telling you.
Go ahead, Ticket.
Yo, Ticket. You talk about Ray and Bron at that time. Remember, this is when Ray still had a little something in the tank too.
Yeah,
right. Hold on.
Go ahead, Ticket.
All right, Bob.
He went to a super team in Boston.
Yeah.
So what make you think he went and play? Bro, dudes like that would have went to play with LeBron James at that time, bro. If
that's true, then why get on that Boston crew who was whacker than that first of all, he got traded. That's number one. So it wasn't like he was a free agent and would have went to Cleveland. So that's not true. But Boston was garbage. The reason why KG went over there, he looked at the crew that he was on. Minnesota was actually better than Boston. But he looked at what they had done with trading for Ray Allen and having Paul Pierce already there. Rondo hadn't turned into Rondo yet.
What did they give up to get him?
But he looked at that unit. They gave up what's the big kid?
I'm talking about what did Boston give up to get Ray Allen?
They gave up the fifth pick and Jeff Green. That's how they ended up.
Okay, right. So hold on. So the Cavs, they damn sure would have had the pieces after they won the chip to do it.
To do what? Ticket?
To get Ray Allen.
How?
What are you talking about? How?
Why are they trading for Ray Allen?
Huh?
Why are they trading for Ray Allen?
Because he's one of the greatest shooters in the game. You need shooters around LeBron James.
Correct.
He would have been a vast up. He would have been one of the top guys on the trade market.
On the trade block.
And they would have been the champs. The rich get richer. We know that.
Only except he wasn't though, Ticket, because when you look at what was going on up in Seattle, I mean, they were in turmoil, but they weren't that bad. They were a playoff team previous. And not only were they a playoff team, I just look at 18 and I think about how he had dragged that team through the playoffs and to the NBA Finals and how he was playing at that time. Had he won the NBA championship and beat that Golden State team who had already won the NBA championship in back-to-back seasons, oh man, it would have. I think it would have done wonders for his career.
It don't change the 5 NBA Finals losses, homie. Bro, listen, it ain't nothing like you starting.
I think he's still in Cleveland too, by the way.
Let me say this to you. It ain't nothing like you starting to win it at home. If he won it in Cleveland that year, who would have been the favorites to win it that next year? Chilltown. They would not have been the favorites. Hold on. LeBron James was the favorite.
Boston.
Time out. LeBron was the favorite. What are you talking about?
Yo. But before we go,
hold on.
That Boston.
LeBron was hold on. Chilltown. Watch this right here. LeBron was the favorite. And even though he did lose the first one, what happened after that? He still went on to win 66 games, 60 games, coach of the year, all this other stuff that they had going on. They just didn't get as the best of the free agents they want to got because they didn't win. Imagine they'd have won. Everybody, so y'all think about this. If you win the first one, that changes history right there. So all that talk that he ran to go somewhere else to team up because he couldn't do it on his own, that's eliminated. The 6 finals losses, eliminated.
Take it spitting right now.
So now you're talking about a whole change of history. KD never goes to the Warriors. So the Warriors, Steph Curry and them legacy ain't.
Whoa! Stop right there. We don't know if KD doesn't go to the Warriors.
He only went there because LeBron went to Miami.
First of all, KD hadn't when they was in the NBA Finals. KD wasn't even in the league yet, so we don't know what would have happened.
All that happened because what LeBron James did and didn't do. Him not winning the chip in 07. And then not winning after they won 66 and 60 games caused him to go form the super team in Miami. That then caused KD, who felt like he couldn't get over the hump, to go build a bigger.
So it was a domino effect.
Yes.
So James started it. Your logic is James started this whole super team thing, and it was a domino effect. And if James doesn't go, if James wins, he doesn't go. He doesn't even leave Cleveland. He stays in Cleveland.
Right.
He stays in Cleveland. KD probably stays in Oklahoma City. Right. And not only does he stay in Oklahoma City,
league is more evened out. League is more evened out.
I want to make sure I'm understanding you. I also want to make sure I'm understanding you correctly. So does that Boston team, does that happen?
No. I don't think that happens.
And why don't you think that happens?
No, because the Cavs would have had the position of power to get better play. And even if it did happen, we would have picked the Cavs to beat them because the Cavs would have been in a position of power to get better players after winning the chip.
Now we also talking about a Cleveland Cavaliers front office that was pretty incompetent during that time. It wasn't like that. It wasn't like they were making great moves.
They were contenders every year.
Well, they were contenders every year because of LeBron James.
No.
That's why they were contenders. It wasn't like they were contenders every year because.
Hold on, chill. They were contenders because they changed the roster and put different pieces around him that helped him win more games. Here's the point, though, chill. The case in point is this: if LeBron James wins that first championship in Cleveland, he is the man, and there ain't no taking that away from that. He has done something that's crazy because Mike didn't do that. So we looking at, first of all, from a historic standpoint, his whole ego is on a different level because you go win a chip in your 4th year against the Spurs, leading your own team, bro. Your ego is your whole mentality now is on some different type level stuff. So you don't have you guys talking about 18. You still got 5 NBA losses on your docket, but with this, that changes all history. Now you ain't looking Steph Curry the same because guess what? Steph Curry done won the 1 chip, but guess what happened, dog? They had to go get KD to win 2 more and to stay relevant. If KD never comes along, what happens to the Warriors? Do they fizzle off? Do they become a dynasty?
But that was almost 10, that was like 10 years later though.
Right.
Yeah, you can't really go down the whole like
you have to.
You can't but Ticket, you can't project what's gonna happen in the future.
Okay, Ron.
In terms of that. Hold up though, right quick, Ticket. Hold up. I just want to say this. One thing I do, because I agree with you, but one thing I will say is if Braun wins that chip in 2007, we know what Braun was doing for the next 13 years. So we know he's gonna get some more. But that one just starts it off, and it's like if he gets that one,
eliminates Ron. It eliminates the stain that's on his resume.
It does. It does
eliminate on the super team. That eliminates that because he would have did it at home. That eliminates that, right? So, but Ron, and you said it course of history. No, it does matter. Ron, let me give you a perfect example. If you right there, wherever you at right now, and you walk out your house right now, and you go into a grocery store, you pull out a piece and stick up the store. That changes the whole history of your life, your decisions. So LeBron James' decision to have, if he would have won that chip, stayed in Cleveland and continued to stack chips, that would have changed all the other domino effects that put other dudes on a higher level. LeBron James leaving helped put Curry on a higher level because it got him KD and it got him 2 more championships, and now he got 4.
The reason why I'm saying that though, Ticket, is because if Braun do that, it changes. It's a whole domino effect. Like if you move one thing, it moves everything else. So Steph Curry might not even go to the Warriors. Steph Curry might go to, I don't know. Steph Curry might go to the Thunder. You just never know. It could. You never know how butterfly effect, BMW. You never know what's gonna happen. So that's the only reason why I'm saying that. The only consistent that I do know is LeBron's gonna be the best player in the NBA. He already won a championship in 2007, and we know he's gonna continue to make it to more championships and have action to win more championships.
That's what I know. Bob, is KD in the picture? Bob, if LeBron James win a chip. If LeBron James never go to Miami and form a super team, and KD had to hold his own, you know what's? Do we look at how we looking at KD now? As a nigga with as a brother with no championships, running around here acting like a fool.
Similar. I look at him similar to Melo.
Right. Hold on. That's in a whole different. How we looking at Steph Curry if he only got 1 ring with the Golden State Warriors? Because KD doesn't come along and save them to get those other 2. How we looking at Curry? How we looking at all the other guys? So now we probably looking at LeBron like, God, dog, this man won the championship.
I already look at Brown like that.
The thing about it though is, whether Braun wins that ring in 2007 or not, KD running to Steph Curry.
But
KD going over there.
This is my thing. This is my thing. So, I mean, just like the Warriors, they won that ring in what 15? Yeah, 15, right? Yeah, they won that ring. And it's not like KD didn't come that very next year. He came after they lost. So I don't think just because they win in 2007 that automatically means Braun doesn't end up still going to Miami.
Changes everything.
I'm not. It will shake some things up, but I don't see like so Braun getting to that finals. That I think that showed enough to any vets, anybody that was considering going to Cleveland the next year. I think him getting there, and especially what he did against Detroit that year, I think if they intended on going to play with him, then I think they already would have. I think Bron showed enough right there.
Nah,
so I'm not sure if winning
okay,
that ship in 07 has that much of an effect as we saying it does.
The Miami Heat win a chip this year. They're gonna have people knocking on their door to try to come play with them now next year, right? They're gonna have people knocking down their door to come try to play with them.
But what about Golden State? Everybody went knocking down their door to go play with them after they won in 15.
Bob, watch what I'm saying to you now. Everything in life is we live in a culture shock world where everybody want to do what everybody else doing.
I'm with you.
So what I'm saying is this. So when LeBron James saw Boston formed up, that made him want to go form up in Miami. When KD saw that made him want to go form up with Golden State. That caused.
I don't think that's why KD did it. KD did it because he didn't want to play the boys no more.
He did it strictly because he felt like he could not beat LeBron James with that team he had. That's why he went and joined Curry, because he wanted the easy route to win championships. That's why he did that. That's the only reason why he did that. If LeBron never goes to Miami and win chips, KD never goes to the Golden State Warriors. Those are facts. Because if LeBron,
I don't know if that's a fact. I don't know if that's a fact. I think KD still. You know, like KD's still not going to play.
Let's understand why KD went to Golden State. It wasn't LeBron. No, it's not just because of LeBron. Ticket. Would you just listen? Ticket. Would you just listen for a second? Number one, understand who the gatekeeper is. Before you even get to LeBron, you got to get past me, and he couldn't get past them. So the idea with Steph Curry was, we can't beat him without you. You can't beat him without us. But together, both of us can get past him. So stop talking to us like everything that you say is fact. It's not a lie.
Steph Curry.
Once again, the Golden State Warriors were the gatekeepers in the Western Conference. In order to get to James, you got to get past Curry. He couldn't do that.
Yeah, with that's what I'm saying. Steph Curry like, yo, KD, we can't beat Bron without you. Come on over here. But he's also like, KD, you're not even going to smell Bron.
Right.
He already did.
You never going to see Bron because we're going to keep kicking y'all ass.
He already did smell LeBron. And he
got his ass whooped in the fight.
Right. Yeah, that was 4 years ago.
He did smell him. You're right, Ticket. He did smell him. That was, of course, until the Golden State Warriors got to where they were. And now we the gatekeepers in the West. Ain't no more San Antonio Spurs. Ain't no more none of that. Ain't no more Oklahoma City. We are the gatekeepers now. But we know we can't beat him without you, and you can't beat us, and you can't beat him without us. So come get with us. That's what the plan was.
Hey, Ticket, are you defending Bron right now?
Because LeBron went over there and created a championship.
Hey, Ticket, are you defending Bron right now?
That's what it sounds like. That's what it sounds like.
It sounds like it.
That's what it sounds like.
Yeah.
It sounds like.
Everybody knows every official in the NBA. Every ex-NBA player who's around at that time, all the NBA players will tell you. Even Draymond will tell you. He went over there because he knew he couldn't beat LeBron in the finals, bro.
I don't trust nothing Draymond say. I don't believe nothing that Buster say.
No problem. All right, y'all. As the gatekeeper to Super Chats, we got to keep it pushing.
That's a weak ass grace to keep it around.
Shit fluky, ain't it? Big
I'm about to run to my mama's house and fix her fence and all that stuff. If you need me to come take care of that one, let me know.
If you need me to come over there, you let me know.
All right, bro.
All right, moving along. Diesel754 said Ticket is 100% passion, 0% substance, 0% facts.
And you 100% fat, 0% muscle, and 0% brain, sucker. And like I said, do some push-ups, do some sit-ups, and try not to pass gas, and I'll talk to you.
Yo, Diesel, appreciate you for tapping in.
That man can't do a sit-up without passing gas. He won't talk to me. Be quiet, boy.
AMF said LeBron James wins in 2007. What happens to the Kobe three-peat?
The Lakers were still the Lakers were still on their way. They still were coming.
No, but I'm saying according to you,
the Lakers didn't even
better than LeBron. I got him now, Bob. Hold on. According to you, LeBron was better than Kobe. So you would have thought LeBron would have beat Kobe, especially
at that time. You thought LeBron was better than Kobe?
No, you're not hearing me. I said
chill. I'm asking. Yeah, I'm chill. You thought LeBron was better than Kobe in 08, 09, 2010?
No, in 2010. When he had won his second league MVP as a player, I did think he was better. However, Mars, with Kobe Bryant winning the league MVP, winning the NBA Finals in back-to-back years, and winning Finals MVP in back-to-back years, the way I had seen the NBA, I could not deny that Kobe Bryant was the best player on the planet. I couldn't. But I did feel at that point in 2010, when James had won the league MVP in back-to-back seasons, I did feel like James was a better player than him. I did feel like that, but I couldn't deny that Kobe Bryant was the best player on the planet. I couldn't.
That's shit. I just got confused.
Same.
Man, bro, Chill's lying. Chill said that whole decade LeBron James was the best player in the world, in his opinion. Ever since that finals run, Chill was saying that LeBron James is the best player in the world. So that means he thought he was better than Kobe at that time.
And that's what year is that? Ticket 2010?
That was from 2007 all the way up until the last. I guess from the last. I guess Chilltown may have said LeBron wasn't the best player from 2018. So from that time, from 07 to 18, Chilltown thought LeBron James was the best player in the world, hands down. He thought that.
I'm assuming he thought in 19 too, right?
Yeah, no, in 18.
Yeah, 19 he got hurt. So.
Right,
yeah, got hurt in 19.
Right. So what I'm saying is that Kobe was in the finals in 08, 09, and 010. Chilltown, if LeBron would have won the chip in 07, there ain't no way on hell Chilltown picking Kobe to beat LeBron James in the finals in 08, 09, or 010.
Wait. So are we saying that the Cleveland Cavaliers are winning the NBA championship in 08? If they see the Lakers in 08, am I picking the Lakers? Am I picking the Cavs to beat the Lakers?
Yeah.
No, I'm not. I'm not picking the Lakers. I'm sorry. I'm not picking the Lakers. If they win the NBA championship in 07, if they see the Lakers in the finals in 08, I'm not picking the. If they see the Lakers in the finals in 08, I'm not picking the Lakers.
Even though they beat the hell out the Lakers.
I'm once again, Ticket. If the Cavs win the NBA championship in 07, and in the 07-08 season, the year Kobe Bryant won the league MVP, if the Cavs see the Lakers in the NBA finals, I am not picking the Lakers to win the NBA championship.
Even with a hurt, even with a hurt Bynum, even with a hurt Trevor Ariza, you still won't picking the Cavs?
He said he's not picking the Lakers.
What? No, he said he's not picking the Cavs.
That's not what he said.
He picking the Cavs.
Picking the Lakers. That's what he said. 3 times. That's what he said.
Well, then that proves my point then. He thought LeBron was better.
Okay, there we go. Cool.
All right, y'all. Moving along. The Tribe One said Jokic was probably the worst defensive center in the playoffs. But luckily for him, basketball players play both sides. He's ridiculous offensively.
Carl Anthony Towns was in the playoffs, so no, incorrect.
Hold on, you think Cat's worse defensively? No dice.
Domantas Sabonis is worse than him defensively as well. But
Jokic?
Yes.
Smack yourself right now. Get him some baby powder, Ron, so he can slap.
What you put in that tea this morning?
I just drink water. Sorry to disappoint. I'm not a great British person. I apologize. I'm a fraud.
Mars, you're killing the stereotype.
All right, hey, Dub gonna pop up here and expose you.
Hey, Mars, you're not very good at this British shit, Mars. I'll be watching Peppa Pig with the kids, boy. You're not abiding by any of the stereotypes.
Yeah, I'll be watching Bluey too.
I go.
Bluey's in Australia, Ron.
Yeah, I gotta do better.
It's English.
Is Bluey English or in Australia?
I'm pretty sure it's English.
I know Peppa Pig is English. I don't know about Bluey though.
Peppa Pig is English. I don't know what Bluey is.
Hey, Mars, why do you think that Cat is a worse defensive player than Jokic?
Wait, what?
Why do you think Cat is a worse defensive player?
His IQ is terrible. Doesn't understand rotations. Has terrible hands. Fouls way too much. Is a worse rebounder than Jokic. Probably provides more rim protection because he's more vertical, but terrible hands, don't move his feet, is unaware all the time, can't guard on the perimeter, is asked to guard more on the perimeter as well. And he's also next to a great defensive big man as well, and he still looks terrible, whereas Jokic is meant to be the anchor, whereas Cat isn't asked to be an anchor and he's still terrible. So there's many reasons why he's bad. I think Cat is probably the worst starting center defensively in the NBA.
Ticket, you brought up Joker in terms of his effort and him not moving his feet. Have you seen Cat at the 4 when he gets in the pick and roll? He looks like a fish out of water. He is all over the place.
Overly tries though. That's the reason why he gets fouled. I do agree with Mars about Cat's his brain. His brain ain't there. I do agree with Mars on that as far as defensively moving, positioning his body, but he gives effort. The problem is he don't know what the hell he doing out there, and that's what gets him. And that's what gets him into foul trouble and gets him running into guys and bumping guys and fouling guys. But he does give effort. I won't say he don't give effort. He does give effort. He just don't know how to play defense without fouling and don't know how to play smart defense and really position himself correctly. Jokic, to me, he doesn't even try, bro, and that's the problem I have. What Mars said about him and Sabonis. Sabonis at least tries to move his feet. He may not be the best guy in the world, but he tries to move his feet on defense. I watch him.
Someone can try and still be worse than someone who doesn't try.
I brought up the logic all the time, Mars. I mean, you faster than me. That don't mean I ain't trying to run. You just faster than me.
You say Bolt could do 100 meters against a random stranger. He doesn't need to try to beat them, and they could be trying their hardest. He doesn't need to try.
I'll race Usain Bolt at my fastest, and he's still beating me like this. That didn't mean I ain't trying real hard to try to catch up with him. I just ain't as fast as he is.
Ticket, I agree with you that those guys are better defenders than Jokic. But Mars is right about the fact that some people just don't have to try to be good, and they're better than people that are trying hard. No, around Blue is Australian.
Okay.
I agree with Marcel on that. I agree with what he said on that. I don't have a problem with what he said on that.
All right. Moving along. Alan R said this is coming from the guy who wanted to put Giannis on the same level as Hakeem. Shameless.
I did not. I said if Giannis. See, y'all keep saying this stuff about I wanted to. Y'all take out the key words of what I said. I said if Jimmy wins the chip in the Finals MVP. If Giannis were to have won another NBA championship and Finals MVP. His resume, you wouldn't have been able to keep it away from Hakeem's at that time. If Giannis would have won another championship and Finals MVP this year, am I lying, Chilltown? If you looked at his resume to this point, could you have a legitimate argument with him and Hakeem? Yes.
Fuck no.
Hold on, time out. Giannis would have had two. He would have had 2 MVPs. How many MVPs Hakeem had?
1, I think.
Right. Okay. See, that double MVPs. He would have had a Defensive Player of the Year award. Hakeem had multiple, so we'll take that away. Right. He had 2. Right. So that pretty much okay. Cool. No problem. Okay. He would have had 2 NBA championships. Hakeem got 2. He would have had 2 Finals MVPs. Hakeem got 2.
So on paper, hold on, Bob. Wait. We got a separator coming up. Keep going, Ticket.
Right. No. I'm saying that right there would have put him in the conversation, is what I'm saying.
So if we're going solely off the fact that what Giannis has done in terms of championships, in terms of league MVPs, right, and in terms of defensive players, do we actually have a conversation? Yes, and the reason why I'm asking you that, Ticket, is because when I look at what Joker had done, when I look at Hakeem Olajuwon throughout the course of his career, we're only basing, if they had won it this year, we only going off Giannis being nice for like the last 4 or 5 years.
Right, but he's in his prime.
Right, and Olajuwon in his prime, we're talking about double the all-league defensive nods. We're talking about double the all-NBA nods, right? We're talking about 2 defensive players.
Yeah, no. Oh, girl, stop right there. How old was Hakeem when he won those 2 championships in which? How many years had he been in the league? Because he had already been to the finals and lost.
Right. So I think he was 31 and 32.
Right. So hold on. And Giannis, when he won the championship before, he was what, 27?
Yeah, he won the championship in 21 at age 27.
Right. So if he would have won this year, that's a dude who said in the chat, that was a conversation I had with the Finals MVP. He would have had 2 before 30.
Correct.
Giannis, how many more years in his prime you think Giannis got you?
I think he got 5, maybe 6 more years.
Right. Okay. So, and right now he's been pretty much averaging 30 every single year.
Correct.
Even Hakeem wasn't doing that. So what I'm saying to you,
Olajuwon was about 27. Olajuwon was about 25.
Right. So what I'm saying is this: when you looking at Giannis, he would have did this earlier in his career.
Right.
Those main awards he would have achieved earlier in his career than what Hakeem did. And then
which means
another chip, you would have lined him up probably to win another. Like if I ask you right now, if you're being honest, you would say, Ticket, I do think Giannis will win 1 more MVP for his career.
I do think that. I had him winning the league MVP this year. Before the season over, I had him winning the league MVP.
And he'll be in the running again next year. That's right. So let's look at it like this. So what I'm saying is that if we're on the projection, his trajectory was coming earlier than what Hakeem's was.
Right.
Hakeem did it, but he did it later to where he achieved a lot more before he won the chips. But Giannis is doing it at an earlier age, is what I'm saying.
Right. So Giannis won the chips a little bit earlier, which means that level of elite that Giannis is playing at, he would have had to sustain that for another 4 or 5 years, which we don't know about.
You said you thought he would do it.
Which I do think that he would do it, but that's what he would have to do over the next 4 or 5 years, which means that if it ended today, I mean, I'm not sure that we could put him on Olajuwon's level.
So
but
if Giannis won another chip and another MVP, would you then think that puts him on the Kings level? 3 chips, 2 MVPs, 3 MVPs.
So if he won it this year and then won it again after this year?
No, if he won one more chip.
Right, so that would be 2,
and one more Finals MVP and one more regular season.
That would be 2. That would be 3. That would be 3 league MVPs, right? So that'd be 3 league MVPs, 2 NBA championships, and 2 finals MVPs. So now what we got to do is now we got to get the All NBA selections. Now we got to talk about also stuff like the fact that Olajuwon is the all-time shot block leader in NBA history. Giannis ain't even in the top 100. Right now, we got to talk about stuff like Giannis being in, like Olajuwon when he retired, being in the top 10. I'm sorry, he was 11th all time in rebounding. Giannis wasn't in the top 100. So that means that we still have to get to this other stuff in order for Giannis to bust it. Now, when you're talking about the championships, you're talking about the league MVPs. Okay, I can get with that, but there's so much more to a guy's career when you're talking about the totality of it, as opposed to we just talking about championships. We just talking about league MVPs. There's a little bit more to it than that.
Hakeem's just better than him. Like, I don't know.
Oh, we know that part. That's not what we're talking about, Miles.
Mark. Kobe Bryant's better than Tim Duncan, but y'all rate Tim Duncan over Kobe.
I do not.
Kobe Bryant not better than Tim Duncan.
Yeah, I do not think that. No, I do not think that. But that's not what we was talking about. Ticket and I were talking about what Olajuwon and what Tim Duncan. I'm sorry, not Tim Duncan. What Olajuwon and Giannis were doing in terms of championships and in terms of league MVPs. And being a defensive player, that's what the conversation is about. I think that Olajuwon's better than Giannis. I'm not. I won't have that conversation. But Giannis would have to do a little bit more in order for me to, even if he had won the NBA championship, he still got to do that other stuff because he did the championships early. I can't fight that, but that other stuff still has to come too. And I still think he'd play at that level 100%, but he still had to do it. Can't hear you, Ron.
Next super chat, I got my man Taquay White. He said, I'm behind at the Jokic trying conversation. But with Ticket's logic, if you try to do well on a math test and you fail the test, then you didn't try.
That's not what he's saying. That's not what Ticket is saying at all.
But he's saying Jokic just doesn't try. That's what he's saying.
Yeah, that's the only reason why I got mad at you. I love Chill. Chill, my boy, man. The only reason I got mad at him, I'm like, bro, I'm watching this dude. I don't even think this dude really trying like he's supposed to. He's trying harder. He move on. Look, Jokic
he's trying real hard defensively. I just don't have what y'all dudes have, yo. I'm trying to do it. I just don't have what you dudes have. That's all.
And my thing about that defense is like, I want you to give effort. That's first. You have to get effort. But if you can't get it done, even if you give him effort at some point as a coach, I'm sitting you down. Jokic just has the ability to be so great on the other end that I'm just gonna be like, okay, he's trying. You know what I'm saying? At least he's trying. But you know what I'm saying? Like, I for me on the defensive end, I don't give a damn if you're just trying. You got to come through. But Jokic gets a pass.
Tyrone Young said Steph not better than Jerry West. Mars.
Shit, facts.
Yes, he is.
I think yes.
I think he is too.
Let me stop hating. He better. For sure.
The Tribe One said, where does Ticket rank Jokic today? Top 15?
In this
top
game
20?
right now? Oh, no. You top 2 or 3 right now in the NBA. Hey, listen, I don't take that away from you. I'm just not saying all the stuff that Low and Chill is saying. Chill know this, bro. That's the reason why I'm so hard with Chill. Chill came up in an era where you had to earn your stripes. These dudes doing all this talking about Jokic. If Jokic don't win another game in the finals, what they gonna say about him? They gonna call him a choke job. That's what they gonna say. All this stuff they talking about this dude all time this, all time that. If he don't win another game in the finals and lose that way, what they gonna say? They gonna make what is Logan come on here and make all kind of excuses about what everybody else didn't do after he sat up here and glazed the whole team before the final started and told y'all it was no way these dudes could lose? That's what he gonna do. He gonna point at everybody else when he glazed all those dudes before the final started. Now, so no, I'm putting it on Jokic. When Kobe lost to the Boston Celtics, We put that meal on Kobe. We ain't put on the role players. We put on Kobe. He didn't get it done. Same thing with all the other legends in the history game of basketball, bro. When you lose, when Dirk lost in the finals to the Miami Heat, Dirk got to eat that the first time. You know what I'm saying? When LeBron and D-Wade lost to Dirk, LeBron got to eat that. Well,
and he did.
Come on, bro. So y'all ain't gonna sit up here and talk all this all-time stuff with Jokic, and he haven't finished the job yet.
Yo, Ticket, it's ironic that you were saying what you were saying because Armando Tejada came with a super chat. He said, Ticket, is losing in the finals worse than losing in earlier rounds? Why is losing in the finals worse? Losing is losing.
No, it depends on how you lose.
No, it's not.
Like, for example, it depends on how you lose. Like, for example, if he goes up 1-0 and then just walk full straight like that by his team, bro, that's even worse. This was an AC play-in team with 7 undrafted players.
But what I think what he's saying though, Ticket, is this, because y'all super hard on LeBron for losing in the finals as opposed to other people when they lose in the first or second round. And I got to agree with that. I don't understand why it's worse to lose in the finals than it is to lose in the first or second round.
Because when you're stacking your teams, you're supposed to win.
Well, okay. Well, let's say if it's somebody that's not stacking the teams, like for instance, like if
no one discredits AI or Jason Kidd for losing in the finals. No one says, Jason Kidd's not that guy because he lost.
Hold on, AI wasn't stacking his teams though. And see, he still
I'm agreeing with you, Ticket.
No, I'm not arguing with you. I'm saying AI wasn't stacking his teams, but people. I'm not talking about you, Mars. I'm saying people still criticize him and say he was an underachiever. When he wasn't stacking his teams, he was playing for the most part, especially was in Philly with the hand he was dealt. He wasn't out here able to shuffle guys and to get these shooters around him that he needed to keep guys up off him. He had to play with those guys, and he loved it. He loved playing with the hand he was dealt. It was cool.
Ticket, is it also possible that guys like AI just didn't know the power they had? Maybe LeBron was the first to know his worth and be able to. Let me finish asking you real quick, Ticket. Is it possible that maybe Bron was the first one of this caliber to know his worth and know that I can push certain lines and get some help if I want to?
No,
maybe AI and guys before him weren't aware of the power they had.
AI knew he wasn't built like that though. His heart wouldn't come in there and say throw these guys off. AI was the type of dude, and this is how Reggie and all these guys work. Isaiah, all these dudes. Let me ride with the horses y'all got in here. The guys y'all got in here. Now Isaiah would run dudes off. Isaiah ran old boy off. Forget his name. What's old boy? He got traded.
Adrian Daly.
He ran dudes off. So what I'm saying to you is this, bro. Most of them dudes, and that's why we Chill so much, because Chill know this, bro. This man know the rules, bro.
Well, first of all, with that to combat your logic, Ticket. Well, number one, Charles Barkley wanted out of Philadelphia.
And what happened? He broke the rules, and what happened? He got nothing for it.
Well, the reason why he wanted out of Philadelphia is exactly the reason what he was just talking about. They weren't doing anything for him. Dominique Wilkins, if he knew then what he knows now, he wouldn't have stayed in Atlanta. He would have left there. Knowing then what he knows now, he would have not stayed there. 100%. He would have. 100%. He would have got out of there. I'm sure about it.
Dudes is loyal. You know that, bro.
I know that they know that.
That's why I get mad at you. Dudes is loyal.
They are, and I'm not. And here's the thing that I'm not doing. I'm not questioning loyalty. However, at some point, when you are loyal to a point, it could be detrimental to you, which is why Charles Barkley wanted to join the Boston Super. Which is why. Say that one more time.
Why Reggie ain't want to join the Boston Celtics super team when they told him
the reason? Number one, he was old. Number two, number one, he was old, and because he actually said, I tried to shock my body and work out, and he recognized that he didn't have it anymore. That's number one. Number two, that Indiana team, he was the man on that team. They won the Eastern Conference Championship 5 times in 7 years. And they actually ended up making it to the NBA Finals. So they were a championship contender. So it wasn't like he was in the playoffs getting bounced every year in round one. That was a damn good team he was on. And that was a damn good team he was on for a long time. But if these dudes knew then what they know now, looking at the crews that they were on and the way that they were building these teams around them, and all they cared about, the majority of them, I'm not going to say the majority of them, I'm sorry, I take that back. Like Philadelphia, who all they cared about was getting to the playoffs. They didn't do anything for Charles. Nothing for Charles. He would have left there way earlier than he did. Kevin Garnett said it, quote, knowing then what I know now, he would have been out of Minnesota. He wouldn't have stayed there. And the reason why he wouldn't have stayed there was because how they were treating him. They just thought that they were going to get to the playoffs every year. James was the one who recognized that my legacy is going to be about winning. You dudes around here ain't serious about winning, and I'm going to get out of here because I got to go.
That's not true, fam. That's why Chilltown. This is why me and you go at it every day, bro. That's not true. You keep putting out that lie, bro. That they wasn't. They was, bro. They had the highest payrolls in the NBA. They shifted the team. They hear you the coach of the year.
Oh, who were they paying? Who were they paying though, Tiki?
Bob, look at hold on, Bob. Look, Bob. They were paying the right guys. They were winning 66 games. Look, Bob. Look now. You got Mike Brown. They clown this dude. Look at Mike Brown again now. Now you get to see it.
That was
I mean, Brown,
that was like 13 years ago. Mike Brown ain't the coach 13 years ago that he is today. We ain't doing that.
Not only that, though, Chilltown. Not only that, but also Mike Brown got a little bit better personnel now. So
no, but he
got more to work with now.
Hold on. But
he does.
He got better personnel now, but he won more games, won 66 and 60 games then. He was a coach of the year then too. So it wasn't like he was just riding for a ride. No, he was a coach of the year then, bro. And then guess what? Even when he went to the Lakers, he won 56 games. It wasn't like he was losing. Mm-hmm. He won games. They had injuries, and that's why they lost in the playoffs. Tell the truth, bro.
We are telling the truth. Just because something is omitted doesn't mean we lying.
Right,
no,
hold on.
You just brought that up. Keep going.
But Ticket, I like to look at it this way though, Ticket. Like I like to look at it like you got those guys, Reggie Millers and Charles Barkley's and all those guys, and they over here on this island and they cold. They don't got no fire. They eating raw fish. Huh? You know what I'm saying? LeBron goes to the other island and comes back like, yo, we got fire over here. Why y'all over here freezing?
Because
you know what I'm saying, like it's just matches right there. Like this spark something. Nah,
because them dudes came up under the same etiquette that Chilltown came up under, bro. And this is the reason everybody
that's toxic, bro. That's toxic. Why should I torture myself?
Bob, I'm gonna tell you why you're wrong. I'm gonna say this, and this has to be said.
I don't know if I'm wrong. Maybe
hold on, bro. This for everybody that's listening in the comment section that's always running y'all mouth. Bro, listen. Chilltown can back me up, and he know this, bro. And we can bring Shaq, anybody else, they'll tell y'all this, bro. Bro, dudes that grew up in that era, they respected more the franchises that drafted them. Why? The fans were more in tune to the lives of the players, to the families of the players. The players' families were enriched in the organizations. Dudes felt like because the organizations took a risk on me, gave me a job, allowed me to be the man on the franchise, I'm indebted to them to try to work hard and bring back things. That's why Reggie never wanted to leave Indiana. That's why Mike didn't leave the Bulls and go to the Knicks. These are the reason why Isaiah...
He didn't leave because he got Scotty. Scotty came to him. He didn't have to go nowhere.
No, listen what I'm saying. A lot of these dudes, they didn't want to go join up with each other. They wanted to prove they were better than you.
Right. I can get with that. Right. I can get with that. Sure.
That was the logic.
I can get with that.
Reggie never wanted to go play with Mike because he wanted to prove he was better than Mike. Remember what Mike said about Charles Barkley. He always said Charles would never win because Charles is out of shape. He's all this other stuff. Charles looked for cop-outs. These are true.
If Scottie Pippen and all those cats never came to Chicago, Mike would have got his ass up out of there.
Hold on. And Shaq never wanted to leave Orlando. Somebody said in the conversation, Orlando didn't pay Shaq. That's the only reason why he left.
Yeah, but MJ,
he would have never. I'm telling you guys from firsthand information. Shaq never wanted to leave. He would have retired there. He would have
retired in Orlando.
He would have never left.
Paid him $100 million.
I'm telling you guys right now, he would have never left.
They made a mistake and didn't want to pay the most dominant big man in the history of the NBA $100 million.
Just so you guys know, he would have never left. I'm telling y'all that right now.
And you know why? Because one thing I know about Shaq is a loyal dude, and he a good dude.
Yeah, but if Scotty wouldn't have brought the fire to Chicago, you know what I'm saying? If Scotty wouldn't have came and saved Michael Jordan ass, if he wouldn't have came and saved Michael Jordan ass, Michael Jordan would have been in New York. Michael Jordan would have left. He would have went to New York. He probably would have went to Cleveland. He would have got the hell up out of Chicago.
Bob, I got a question for you. What fire did he bring? Larson? What fire did he bring to Chicago?
That's what
Larson in the 90s show was fire, boy.
But look though, Ron, that's what people do. That's what people do to try to discredit Scotty. Because nowadays, when stuff like this happens on social media, then they shame you. They act like you're the one. See, Larson's problem isn't Scottie Pippen. Larson's problem is within herself. It has nothing to do with Scottie Pippen. She got to find her. Scotty, that has nothing to do with Scottie Pippen. So I need y'all to stop acting like that has anything to do with Scottie Pippen. Let me say that first. Second of all, Scottie Pippen saved Michael Jordan's legacy.
Man, you crazy as hell.
And I believe that.
Mike,
right
hold on, Bob. This is why you out of your mind. Scottie Pippen, when he came to the league, he was a bench player. Secondly, Mike was already as a young.
He got better.
Hold on. Mike as a young buck.
When Kobe got to the league, he was a bench player.
Hold on, Bob.
He got better.
Mike, hold on, Bob. Mike, as a young buck, was still leading that team to the playoffs when Scottie was on the bench as a young buck. Some dudes, that guys at Chilltown call the greatest, wouldn't even make the playoffs their first few years in the league.
All right. Okay. Well, they saved each other.
Hold on. But Bob, Mike was making.
Can we put some?
If Michael Jordan did nothing but make the playoffs in his career.
No, I didn't say that. No. I said he came.
Can we put some context on that? Making the playoffs. I would love to. I would love to tell the truth. I would love to put some context.
The Bulls are making the playoffs with 30 wins.
Not only with 30 wins. Like, why are we talking about this?
Hold on. Did he not? Hold on, Chilltown. Let's be honest. Let's be very honest. Let's keep our feelings and emotions out of this. When Mike came into the league, were the Chicago Bulls trash?
They were San Antonio.
They were trash.
That was trash winning.
Hold on, Bob, because I want Chilltown to tell this truth.
32 and 50. Trash.
Chilltown, what did he do when he came to the Bulls? Did he not make them a contender instantly in the playoffs?
No, he didn't make them a
contender.
No, he did not.
He did not make them a playoff. Hold on. He did not.
Contender for what?
Hold on.
No.
He didn't take you from being a lottery team to making them a playoff team?
They were a playoff.
That's what you mean by contender.
No. Don't let that go more. We made the playoffs this year.
Jordan made them a playoff team. Okay, I know that.
You praising 30 and 52?
No, I'm not. 18. No, I'm not.
I'm pretty sure they were below 500 every year.
Hold on 1 second.
Not only were they below 500, there were plenty of other teams that the Eastern Conference wasn't very good at that time. When I say
they won 30 games,
they did, and he did, and Jordan did. I think Jordan missed 64 games that year. But with that being said, let's rewind the clock. So you're talking about Ticket. You're talking about a LeBron James who, when he got to Cleveland, they had won 15 games that year. Right. The next year, they improved by 18 games.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying playoff contender. I'm saying
right. Okay. So the next year after that, his second year, they tied with the New Jersey Nets for the 8th spot, and they lost the tiebreaker. So they were a playoff team. By the way, they also improved by another 15 games.
Don't twist my words. Chill.
So I'm not twisting your words. I'm not twisting your words. You just said you're king not making the playoffs, and you completely left stuff like that out. That stuff is important to mention.
I don't want you to miscomprehend what I was saying. It's a difference when I'm saying championship contender, playoff contender. A team is like for example, you got teams that are playoff contenders, like they're teams that can make the playoffs. Then you got teams that are championship contenders. So that's what I was talking when I said playoff contender. I didn't mean they were a contender for a championship.
Right. I get that. No, I get that. I understand. I understand that part.
Mike made them a playoff contender. So here's the thing, right? So when he got to the team, they made the playoffs because of Michael Jordan. These are facts. So then when they played the Boston Celtics, he went up against 5 Hall of Famers coming off a broke foot. These are facts.
Correct.
They only lost 1 home game that entire season. These are facts. The Boston Celtics. Correct. Mike played that team and he almost came close to getting the game in that series against them coming off that broke foot.
So he lost.
But he got swept, right? He got swept, right?
Hold on. All I'm saying is this. All I'm saying is when Bob say that Scottie came and saved Mike, I asked Bob one question. Let's take Mike out of the equation.
You asked me, you didn't let me answer.
I'm going to ask you one question, Bob. Let's take Mike out of the equation. Could Scottie Pippen have came in the league and did with the Bulls the same thing Mike did his first 3 years?
Not instantly. No, not instantly.
Wait a minute. Hold
on. Wait. Is that cooking? Ticket? I didn't say Scottie Pippen was better than Michael Jordan.
Crispy.
Did I say that Scottie Pippen was Michael Jordan?
Yes, because Scottie did what Mike did with that same team.
Did I ever say that was
Scottie Pippen taking them to the playoffs without Mike the first 3 years in the league?
Did I say yes? Yes, they could have went to the playoffs.
Hey, Chilltown, Bob, you need to cut your braids, man.
Hell no, never cut my locks.
This man said Scottie Pippen, who came in the league playing 7 minutes or 8 minutes a game are averaging 7 points a game off the bench, could have took the Chicago Bulls.
Hold on, y'all. Let me get this.
That's a goddamn lie, man.
Let me get this one.
You got
yeah,
it.
but see, Ticket, he came off the bench. Maybe if we would have had a bigger sample size, you know what I'm saying? He could have done more.
Hold on, you think Scotty was ready coming out of school, coming into the NBA?
I mean, we'll never know because we didn't get a bigger sample size.
From what you saw.
But that's what you said, Ticket. I'm coming out of your school, Ticket. I'm following your lead, brother.
From Scotty in school, you thought Scotty, based on what we saw from Scotty coming out of college and Mike coming out of college, you think Scotty could have went to the Bulls without Mike and made them a playoff team?
Not the first season, but eventually, yeah. No.
Mike did it
because why Ticket? Why Ticket? Because Michael Jordan is better and always was better than Scottie Pippen. I'm not trying to make that claim, bro. I'm just saying, like,
you don't like that, Moss?
It's debatable.
At some points it is debatable, but I still give Jay the edge. Overall, overall basketball.
It's debatable. I don't know what to say. Scottie Pippen averaged more rebounds, more assists, more blocks, more steals in the playoffs. I don't know what to say. Michael Jordan scored more points.
97, 94,
Michael Jordan just scored more points than Scottie Pippen. That's all I know.
Ron, put up a poll and ask everybody, do they think Scottie Pippen could have did what Mike did without Mike and lead that team to the playoffs his first 3 years in the league?
But Ticket, that wasn't what I was arguing though, bro. That wasn't my point.
Hold on, you said he saved Mike. How he saved Mike? We couldn't even do what Mike did.
Those aren't the same things. That doesn't even correlate.
Hold on. Mike was progressing. How he saved?
It's like this, Ticket. It's like this, Ticket. So how much you max on the bench press? Like what? Like 135? I'm just bullshitting. But look, let's say you bench pressing. Let's say you got 4 plates on each side, but you can't lift. But you're stronger than me. You're stronger than me, but you can't lift all 4 plates. If I come spot you, then I saved you from crushing your windpipe. But that don't mean I'm stronger than you. That just means by me and you working together as brothers, I helped you lift that weight up. But I'm not saying that I'm stronger than you.
You fight that, Ticket?
I'm mentally slow, but this man came in here and said that Scotty Simpson could have came in the league when he was getting smacked around by Charles Oakley and Chilltown noticed and taking the Bulls to the playoffs the first 3 years. Man, come on, bro. What are we doing, man?
Well, I mean, look, hey, bro, not initially, but after a while, yeah.
I'd rather you say Ticket. I hate your guts. And I'm like this, bro. Y'all are disgusting, man.
That's not what I was trying to say, Ticket.
That's disgusting.
I can't believe y'all coming up here and pushing narratives. Mars up here trolling just to piss Ticket off. That's cool. That's not cool.
Ron, let me give you an example.
I'm just going to based on what I was told.
Ron, you went to a girl who was running around here in Bobos would make your feet feel fine. Bobos, they cost $1.99. You get with her. Now she wearing red bottoms. She got Gucci bags. She got Louis Vuitton, all this other stuff, right? Then Bob come along after that, talking about I'm gonna go get her a Lambo and all this other stuff. You don't already raise your level.
Hey, Ticket, if he got her a Lambo, he got me a Lambo.
Come on, bro.
I just think Scottie Pippen was clearly better than Michael Jordan. I mean, the stats prove it, so I don't know what to say.
Y'all sad, man.
All right, so hold on. That's not even what I said though, bro. Like I don't want to keep harping on it too much, but that's not what I said.
That's what I said.
No, you said Mars said Mars is disgusting.
No, I was told because when Jimmy Butler didn't lead the Heat in scoring, but him leading the team in rebounds, assists, steals, blocks, that made him the best player on the team. Scottie Pippen was doing that. So he's the best player on the team.
Scottie Pippen lead the Bulls, the same Bulls team that Mike did those first 3 years. Could he have led them to the playoffs?
Do I think Scottie Pippen could win 30 games in his second year?
No, I said, do you think he could have led the Bulls to the playoffs the first 3 years?
I think in 1986, Scottie Pippen's on the Bulls. I think they can win 30 games. Yes.
Man, y'all sick out y'all mind.
30 games isn't a lot of games, Ticket. That's not this the thing. This is all I'm saying, Ticket. Mike didn't really set the bar that high. So the bar you asking us ain't really that crazy. He came and won 30
He won the MVP and the defensive player of the year in the same year. What are you talking about?
Yeah, eventually. But I'm saying like that first.
I lost in the playoffs. So
hey, Ticket, I could in my prime, I could win 30 games.
Man, Bob, man. All right, man.
With a green
if saying Scottie Pippen can win 30 games is a crime, then lock me up.
With Phil Knight backing me, Ticket. With Phil Knight backing me in a green light, Trust me, baby. I could win 30 games.
But Phil wasn't even the coach, so sit down and shut up. So let me say
Phil
this.
Knight. Phil Knight. You know who Phil Knight is, right?
Let me say this to you. Hold on, Bob. Let me say this to you. And y'all gotta think about something too. Even when LeBron came in the league, his first years, the team that made the playoffs in front of him, they had a losing record and they only won 30 plus games. That was in the 2000s. Remember, I think it was the Boston Celtics that made it in front of him. He missed the playoffs. And he had a losing record and only won 35, 36 games that year. It was a team that was in front of him that won 30-something games that made the playoffs. Go look it up. So I don't want to hear about this, Mike's team's only winning 30 games. Dude, in 2000, it was teams that was winning 30 games that was getting in the playoffs, bro.
Yeah, because it was in a weak ass season.
The Cavs were like a 15-win team when LeBron joined them.
They weren't like that, Mars. They won 15 games and they won 18 more games the next year.
They had way more talent than that Bulls team Jordan went to when he came in the league.
So why did the Bulls team win more games the year before?
No, I'm saying no. I said they had.
I heard what you said. I asked the question. Why did the Bulls win more games than the Cavs did the year before?
Different eras, and you got to remember.
Okay, so then why does the talent matter? If the other team won more games, which team improved their team by more wins?
But Mars, was all those dudes
LeBron's
still
the
on the team when Mike got drafted?
I don't know what to say.
Was all those dudes still on the team when Mike got drafted? That was on the year before.
LeBron's the GOAT. I don't know.
Wait a minute. So that Bulls team you're talking about, were all of those guys on the team when Jordan got drafted? In 85, 86. So Jordan got there in 84. So you're talking about in 85, 86? All of those guys still there? So
the year before Michael Jordan came in the league.
Right.
All them dudes still on the same team when Mike got drafted.
So Orlando Woolridge, let's see, Dave Corzine, Tony Brown. Elston Turner didn't show up until 87, 86, 87, or 87, 88. Troy Brown, Orlando Woolridge, John Paxson was on the crew in 85. They signed him as a free agent. Let's see, who else am I thinking about? George Gervin, but George Gervin was over at that point. So George Gervin,
tell the truth.
George Gervin, he was over. George Gervin, he was over at that point. Who else am I thinking about during that time? Charles Oakley showed up in 85. Let's see, who else am I thinking about?
So Jordan actually got given more help. Interesting.
No, Jordan. The Bulls won 27 games the year before Jordan came in the league,
and they won how many when Jordan was there? So
38.
His rookie.
Okay, so he improved them by 11. He improved them by 11 wins. How many wins did LeBron improve them by?
Hold on, Mars.
15.
Interesting.
Hold on.
At a younger age as well.
Hold on 1 second, Mars.
Interesting.
They won more games than what LeBron James won his rookie year. Now but
the team started at a higher base. 27 wins to 15 wins.
Hey, hold on, Mars.
Who improved that team by more wins? Who improved that team by more wins?
Hold on, Mars. I'm gonna cook your ass even more.
Who improved that team by more wins?
Hold on. Say what?
Who improved that team by more wins? LeBron in his rookie year or Jordan?
I'm not finished with you yet.
Oh, but you can't answer my question. I wonder why.
I asked Chilltown a question for a reason. I asked Chilltown, was them same dudes that was on that team the year before, was they on there the next year? Now, let's be honest about our assessments. So when you talk about this stuff, you got to be honest when you say this stuff, bro.
Right.
The only guys that Jordan really had on the team was Orlando Woolridge and Quentin Daly. Those are the two main guys he had on that too. Right. That's it.
After that rook season.
Who improved that team by more wins?
Hold on, bro. You're not listening. I'm telling you
why you got a valid point right there, Tiki. You got a valid point.
Wasn't on the same team no more, Mars. What I'm telling you.
Who improved the team by more wins?
Bro, is this dude on some type of drug?
It's a very simple question.
Bro, half the dudes wasn't on the same team, boy.
That's not what I asked. That's not what I asked.
What I'm saying is,
I want to know who improved the team by more wins.
In that East, if you give me what's his name, Quentin Daly and Orlando Woolridge in the 8-ball, I'm going to the Eastern Conference. I'm going to the playoffs too.
Dave Corzine, Tony Brown.
Can someone else tell me who improved that team by more wins? Can someone else tell me who improved that team by more wins?
The Cavs improved by more wins. That's James rookie year.
And LeBron was only 18, right? Whereas Jordan was 21, right?
He was 19.
Teams that made the playoffs in the East, excuse me, and in the West, right? So let's just be real. You had teams in the West, right? Now the worst team in the West was 41-41 the year before Mike came. That was Phoenix. They made the playoffs. The worst team in the East the year before that was 35 and 47. That was the Bullets. They made the 8th seed.
Right.
The seed before them was the Hawks. They had a losing record. They were 40 and 42, right? So when Mike comes in the league, the very next season, when Mike comes in the league, now Mike comes in the league averaging 28, 6 and 6, 6.5 and 6, right? For the Bulls, that they go from being out of the playoffs to they weren't even the 8th seed. They were the 7th seed in the playoffs that year. So they didn't go in as an 8th seed because the 8th seed was the Cleveland Cavaliers. That Mike's rookie year.
Right.
So, and Mike was only, guess what? 8 games behind the Detroit Pistons. That first year he came in the league. He was only 8 games behind the Pistons. So the only teams that Mike had in front of him that was directly in front of him were the Bullets, the Nets, and the Pistons. Those were the only teams he had in front of him. The other 2 teams were the dominant teams in the East. That was the Boston Celtics with 63 wins. That was the Philadelphia 76ers with 58 wins. And that was the Milwaukee Bucks with 59 wins. Those were the 3 dominant teams in the East. So Mike made the playoffs. It wasn't even, he was a 7th seed when he made it that first year. Plus they had a lot of key different other guys. Most of the guys that they had on the year before, they weren't on the team. Only a few hangovers were on that team. So, and then go to the next year after that. This is what I was telling Bob, 85, 86. So 85, 86, the Bulls get in. That's when Mike got hurt. That's the year Mike broke his foot and missed all those games, right? So, but that year it was worse because you got to remember, that year it was multiple teams that had losing records that was in the playoffs, right? In both conferences, in the East.
Correct.
So the whole NBA was like that. The Spurs made the playoffs. They had 35 wins with what you call it? The Kings made the playoffs with 37 wins that year. So it wasn't just Mike, it was all over the league. That's how the wins and losses were. It was multiple teams not making the playoffs with many wins. Mike and them beat the Cavs out to make the playoffs by 1 game that year when Mike came back. But the teams in front of Mike, most of the other teams the next team had 9 wins over them. So we know if Mike would have been there, the Bulls would have had they'd have been probably 15 wins better. So we would have said they would have been a 45-win team if Mike would have played the whole season.
That's a top 5. That's a top 5.
But they only won 40 games.
Hold on, Mars. Chill. Let me ask you this with your biggest honesty. Mike missed how many games his second year in the league, Chill?
64.
Right. Now, you think if Mike plays 64 games, how many more wins you think the Bulls got in his second year?
Of them 32 wins, or them 30 wins?
Yeah.
Of those 30 wins with Paxson, I mean, I still think they made.
Mike.
I'll go to 10. I think they're a 40-win team.
All right, so you got 10 more wins with Mike.
Yeah, I'll go to 10, 100%. I think they're a 40-win team.
So cool.
Maybe
hold on. With those 10 wins, that puts them as the 6th seed.
Right. So I was thinking.
Who do they play first round of the playoffs?
Boston.
The Boston Celtics.
Yeah,
they ran into with 5 Hall of Famers.
I'm saying if they get the 6th seed, who do they play at the 3 seed?
Oh, if they got the 6th seed at the 3 seed, they play the Atlanta Hawks.
Oh, and get swept.
So they lose either way.
Yeah, they don't beat Atlanta.
So either way they get knocked out the first round.
All I'm hearing is that the 80s was just having trash.
Hold on,
they don't beat Atlanta.
Hold on.
Hold
on. I got a question for Grittel. So Atlanta that year, they only had Dominique Wilkins. He averaged 30. Ain't nobody else averaged over 12.
We ain't got to talk about buckets. No, you can talk about buckets. But
wait 1 second. Hold on, Chilltown. I want you on the record for this. I want everybody to listen what Chilltown said. Chilltown said that Mike, who that year was averaging 35, if he would have played Dominique Wilkins, who had no other score over 12 points per game that season, because it was Dominique averaging 30, and the next best player was Randy Whitman, who averaged 12.9.
Yep.
You telling me Mike he loses that series in the playoffs?
So how are they the 3 seed if the team was so bad?
Well, that's what I was getting.
No, you're not hearing me.
I heard you. I asked how would the Atlanta Hawks the 3 seed if they only had one guy scoring 30?
Let me ask Chilltown a question first, then I'm gonna answer your question. Chilltown. Okay, I'll wait. So my question to you is again, for Mars trying to cut me off being a jackass like he like to do.
I'm listening to you, Ticket. I'm with you. Ticket.
Come on, Mars. Stop being a jackass, man. Let him get this off.
Do they lose to that Atlanta team who had Dominique Wilkins, Randy Whitman, Doc Rivers, and Kevin Willis?
Yes, they did.
Can you answer my question now? Why were the Atlanta Hawks the 3 seed? Why were the Atlanta Hawks? Why were they the 3 seed?
I swear to God, man.
Wait.
Mike would have lost to Dominique.
Wait.
Why were the Atlanta Hawks the 3 seed?
The reason why they were the 3. I'm sorry, you talking to
Ticket. Why were the Atlanta Hawks the 3 seed if the team was so bad?
Y'all disgusting, man.
My question is just unanswerable.
I hate you for me. Hey,
So
bro,
the moral story is this, Mars.
I'm taking it. What am I?
I just want to know how a team that only had one guy scoring over 12 points a game was so bad. Like, how were they?
Scottie Pippen helped Michael Jordan become who he was. And there's nothing wrong with that.
And they also,
I just want to know how the Atlanta Hawks.
These niggas talking about Tree Rollins. Tree Rollins averaged 5.6 points per game that year, man. Get out of here.
Why were the Hawks the 3 seed?
Bro, bro, I guess they was because Dominique averaged 30.
So Dominique can carry his team to the 3 seed, but Michael Jordan.
Because Doc Rivers missed almost half the season that year.
Oh, and Dominique still got them to the 3 seed, but Michael Jordan was there below 500 when he was.
You're not hearing me. You're not hearing me.
I heard you. You told me what I need to know.
Doc Rivers played 53 games, but he wasn't their second best player on the team.
You told me what I needed to know.
Their second best player was Randy Whitman, and their third best player was Kevin Willis.
And Dominique could get that team to the 3 seed, but Michael Jordan, when he was healthy, was still below 500. That tells me what I need to know. Michael Jordan is not better than Dominique Wilkins. I've just learned.
That wasn't Dom's rookie year, dummy. Dom was 26 years old.
You have very good points.
That's all I need to know. That's all I need to know.
Dom was 26 years old in his prime.
Dominique is better than Michael Jordan.
Man, get out of here, pup.
No, we're not saying that.
You heard it here first.
I'm saying that.
You heard it here first on the panel. Dominique Wilkins clears Michael Jordan.
Exactly. How many games is Michael Jordan? How many games has Michael Jordan won in the playoffs without Scottie Pippen? How many games? It's one, right? He's won one playoff game in his whole career.
Yeah, they beat Milwaukee
against the Bucks. Against the Bucks. Wow, one game.
Only these buffoons.
Who would have thought a 15-year career and he could only win one game without Scottie Pippen?
I don't respect none of these fans, bro.
Scottie Pippen.
Imagine playing for 15 whole years and you win one playoff game without Scottie Pippen.
This ain't nothing. The player's choice ain't nothing but a ticket hate reunion over here in the comment section and on the panel. That's
crazy.
That's crazy.
That's so insane.
And I come every single day.
All up ticket.
One playoff game about Scottie Pippen.
This is what we're trying to make sense of. We trying to make sense of the Atlanta Hawks, who were the 3rd seed. Your logic ticket is Atlanta Hawks as a 3rd seed. They end up they wouldn't have beat the Bulls because they only had one guy that averaged 35 a game. Meanwhile, if you fast forward the clock to 1987-88, when the Chicago Bulls got out of the first round for the first time, you know that Jordan averaged 35 a game that year? His second best player was Sam Vincent, who averaged 13 a game. His third best player was Charles Oakley, who averaged 11. They got out of the first round. That was Scottie Pippen's rook season. So there's no reason why, and they were the 3rd seed, by the way. So there's no reason why that Bulls team, which were in 85-86, that Bulls team was not as good in 85-86 as the 87-88 team. And that Atlanta Hawks team was better. And I think that they would have beaten that Chicago Bulls team. So the logic that because Dominique Wilkins was averaging 35 a game and nobody else was averaging over 12. Meanwhile, Jordan did the same thing in 88. There's no reason why that couldn't have happened in 86. No reason why.
No. Hold on. Gridtown. What I'm saying to you is this. The Bulls that year they ran into the Celtics, the 5 Hall of Famers. But
we're taking the Celtics off the table. Take the Celtics off the table. Let's stick with Atlanta and the Bulls. Let's do
that. I'm saying that's the reason why they that's the reason why I'm saying that's the reason why they lost, because they ran into 5 Hall of Famers. I'm saying if they would have played the Hawks, Jordan still had Orlando Woolridge, who was averaging 20.7. He still had Quentin Daly, who was averaging 16.3. He still had an old George.
So now the team's good. Okay, you gotta make up your mind. Are these guys good or are they bums?
Bro, y'all not listening, bro.
I'm listening.
You're just not making no damn sense.
Bob, you're not listening. I am making. Bob, if you shut up, man, you'll hear.
No, I'm not gonna shut up. Nigga, you shut up. You the one out here lying.
All right, y'all. Come on, we move it on. We move it on.
You got proof. You told us that Dominique Wilkins was better than Michael Jordan.
Did not play the Boston Celtics. I would have picked them. They got out the first round that year. They didn't play the Celtics. The Celtics had 5 Hall of Famers on the same team.
Right.
If Jordan didn't play the Celtics, if he would have played the Hawks, if he would have played even the Pistons that year, I would have picked them to come out the first round because the Pistons went home early that year too.
And you know who beat them in the first round? Atlanta beat them in the first round.
Right, but that's hold on. And I picked the Bulls to beat Atlanta. I thought Michael Jordan, Orlando Woolridge, Quinn Daly, and George Gervin. I thought that and Sidney Green. I thought they were in Oak too on that team. I thought they were better than the team that the Atlanta Hawks had. We got to remember that Mike just missed 64 games that season. That was it. Right. And he ran into the Celtics. Everybody else had to pick Mike to beat in the first round, pretty much.
All right, y'all. That's what it is. Now, moving along.
Please love your daughters, though, because we don't want no more Larsa Pippins out here.
Nico Past 6 said, how was Miami 25th in the league in offensive rating without severe core player injuries and Tyler Hero scoring so well? Maybe he's a liability.
No, they couldn't make threes during the season. Now they can make threes. That's why the offense is good in the playoffs. That's literally the whole reason. It's the 3-point shooting. That's it.
That super chat actually gets me to the title of the show and a question that I wanted to ask all you guys. Now, I know Miami, they have basically they have all these undrafted players, so we kind of put them in a category of they're like tryhards and dudes that have, a good American story and whatnot. But when you break it down, are the Heat actually a deeper team than the Nuggets?
Yeah. The real question is this, Ron. When you had left and you was doing whatever you was doing, did Ticket have to text you and be like, "Hey, Ron, come save me"?
Whoopi Goldberg.
Is that what happened, Ron? Because you jumped in here and say, "Oh, whoa, get off the Ticket, yo, bet."
Ron was Scottie Pippen, just saving Ticket's legacy.
Hey, Bob, here's the funny part.
Ron was Scottie Pippen.
You and Mars always got to try to jump me. So that's
nobody is jumping you. When you and me talk, it's you.
I just ask very simple questions.
First and foremost,
he never got a question for Bob. He never got a question for Ron. This sucker always got a question for me. Like I said,
I always ask Showtime questions.
Hey, guess what? It's a Ticket hate fest, and I love it. Let's go.
I always ask you questions, do I not?
Yes, he does.
What's he talking about? You're just mad because Scottie Pippen saved Joe Goat's legacy. That's what it is.
On the snake, we said, "Get
off."
I
saved your legacy. Now, how about that?
You can say that, but all I know is your Goat won one playoff game without. Your Goat won one playoff game without Scottie Pippen. That's what I know.
Before me, you were boring. Now let's go.
Oh, that's great. That's great. And before Scottie Pippen, your Goat won one playoff game. So where do we go from here? Your Goat, one playoff game. I don't know what to do with that. Not my Goat. Frauds. Carry on.
Would you guys like to answer my question? Who is the actual deeper team?
Outside
of the superstars, outside of not necessarily just who has the deeper bench. When you take off the two best players on the team, the two clearly best players on both teams, who has the better unit?
Miami's clearly the deeper team.
I think Eric's. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Mons.
Denver goes 7 or 8 deep. We spoke about that. They have no bench. They have no backup bigs. Their team is their starting 5: Bruce Brown, and occasionally Jeff Green or Christian Brown. That's their whole team. Miami can go 10, 11 deep. They have guys like Haywood Highsmith who can bring valuable minutes, Cody Zeller sometimes, Kyle Lowry, Gabe Vincent, Max Strus, Caleb Martin. They just have a lot more pieces. And then not to mention the coaching advantage as well. I mean, they have Eric Spoelstra versus Michael Malone. So that also makes their role players play better as well. So, yeah, I think depth. I mean, during the whole season, everyone expected Miami to be a good team, and the reason why is because we said they're one of the deepest teams in the NBA. Going back to the preseason, when we got asked who the deepest team in the NBA was, it was the Clippers and it was the Miami Heat. That's the teams we said, and it holds true to this day. Miami just underperformed a bit in the regular season, but that doesn't change that they're the most deep team in the playoffs, and they're deeper than Denver by far because Denver have no depth.
I disagree with that by far. I think that that's a lie. And I think that it's more even. I just think that Eric Spoelstra makes it better because he plays more of these guys. I think that Denver has a deep bench. Denver has guys that are experienced. Denver got good players all across the board. They don't play those guys. We saw what Thomas Bryant was doing when he actually got playing time with the Lakers. We saw what he's done in his career, pretty much been a 10-10 guy, double-double guy. So, but he gets 0 minutes with the Nuggets. We've seen what old boy with the goggles that played
Reggie Jackson
has been able to do in the playoffs over years. They don't use Reggie Jackson. We've seen that Ish Smith can be a good option for them. They don't use him. So they actually have pieces on their bench that they don't use. Duh. So that's
so I was and to Ticket basically was saying the same thing that I was saying. I think Eric Spoelstra does a better job in using his rotation as opposed to Mike Malone, where he only stops at 8 guys. I mean, Mars, you did make the point that throughout the season, even before the season started, we did talk about the Miami Heat being one of the more deeper teams in the game. But with them being one of the more deeper teams in the game, I think Eric Spoelstra knows not just putting these guys in games, he knows how to use them. I'm actually watching the finals and I'm thinking to myself, am I going to see your seven, the big guy? I'm thinking, is Spo going to go to him at some point, the other big guy that they have? Because Spo just has a knack for just using guys and putting guys in situations for them to be successful long term throughout the series, whether it's Caleb Martin, whether it's Gabe Vincent, whether it's a Highsmith, who I didn't think that he would see any minutes, but the fact that he's put him in as an energy guy, he has a tendency to use these guys and maximize them throughout their offense and defense. Meanwhile, Mike Malone, he's shortened his rotation, and I'm having a difficult time with a guy like Reggie Jackson, who can't give you valuable minutes off the bench. I think that he could possibly give you valuable minutes.
Thomas Bryant. What was Thomas Bryant doing when AD got hurt? Chill.
The reason why Thomas Bryant went to Denver because he wanted to play more. That's the only
reason. That was dumb. I don't know why he did that.
What was Thomas Bryant doing when AD got hurt though?
He was almost a double. He was almost a double guy. But with that being, that's why he went to Denver, because he wasn't really playing that much with the Lakers. Now, maybe it does as of right now, Moss. It looks like it was a mistake for him to go there. But I'm still trying to make sense of why he can't give them, because to Big Ox's point, when you got bodies like that, why are they not in the rotation? Is there any reason why these guys can't give me any valuable minutes? I've seen Ish Smith.
Because what you think Jokic is defensively is what Thomas Bryant is defensively. That's what he is. He's not going to give you valuable minutes in the postseason. He's egregious defensively. DeAndre Jordan's in the NBA for camaraderie. He's there for value.
Yeah, that guy. That's it.
That's what he is, and he provides value doing that. And I'm not dismissing what he brings to the team in the locker room, but he is not touching the floor. That's not what he's going to do. He's there to bring good vibes in the locker room, keep everyone grounded, keep everyone's moods and their spirits up. Thomas Bryant is not good. That's why he doesn't play. Reggie Jackson. He's not
good where though, Mars, because when
he's not good. He's not good playing meaningful minutes for a team that's trying to compete.
Because when I see Eric Spoelstra get Cody Zeller on the floor, I'm thinking to myself, well, damn, Thomas Bryant can X out Cody Zeller's minutes, because I don't think Cody Zeller is that much better. Even if he is better, I don't think he's that much better than Thomas Bryant.
You aren't trying to X out Cody Zeller's minutes. You're trying to get the advantage in the Cody Zeller minutes. That's why Jokic plays when Cody Zeller plays, so you can get the clear advantage in those times. Not to keep it as we just keep it as a split where Cody Zeller comes in, Thomas Bryant comes in, we'll just play them even. Denver are trying to bully them in those minutes, get them out +5, +10. That's why Jokic is going to play those minutes, not to just keep it even, because against the starting lineups, Miami have been pretty good in those minutes. So you kind of need to get the advantage with the bench units, which is why Michael Malone isn't going to dig and use Thomas Bryant to just buy some time. And he uses Aaron Gordon at the 5 or Jeff Green just so he can go small and has more mobility.
We're gonna act like Thomas Bryant ain't a good rebounder. We're gonna act like Thomas Bryant ain't a good energy guy. So now we're gonna use his defense, the reason why he can't play. But then when AD was hurt and the Lakers needed a lifeline, Thomas Bryant out here dropping 30 and 15 damn near every single game for almost a month stretch.
Shooting threes.
This is fact. Shooting threes.
What you bring when your star player isn't there is very irrelevant when you're playing on a team where their star player is there. Your role changes, and you're not going to get the same looks. It's like when Jordan Poole averages 30 without Steph. When Steph comes back, he's not going to be in that role. So why does it matter what he does?
A few minutes off the bench, Mars.
Well, wait a minute though, Mars. It does matter, because even though my production might be cut in half, it does matter. Even though my production might be cut in half, I'm still bringing something as opposed to.
It's less about the production and more about just the situation you're in. Thomas Bryant was in a situation where he was going to be looked for more. And obviously, they didn't really care. His defense wasn't really going to be much of a determining factor. They needed scoring. So if you go to Thomas Bryant to look to score more because AD's not there, he's going to look better. Now AD comes back. You don't need Thomas Bryant scoring, and now he's on the floor and he's a defensive liability. It's like, you're not as valuable when we have our star players around. But when there's no one there, it's like, okay, you can give us meaningful minutes.
I don't think Thomas Bryant is much of a liability on defense as y'all say he is.
I disagree with that.
And the point that I was making, Mars, was even though he's playing behind Anthony Davis, that was the reason why he wanted to play more, because he wanted to showcase more of his ability. That's why he wanted to go to Denver, because they didn't have a backup 5-man that could supplement that, right? So when he gets to Denver, he can actually be that guy who could give them significant minutes and score buckets, only except he wasn't really playing. Now, his defense can't be that bad where we can't have this, even though I'm watching him with the Lakers. I mean, Anthony Davis, as good as he was defensively, does he mask Thomas Bryant that much defensively? because I was watching Thomas Bryant with the Lakers. He does eat glass. Yes, he does clean glass.
He rebounds.
Yeah, he does. And there's no way that you're selling me, and I don't mean you, Mars, in particular, but there's no way you're selling me that that's not valuable in the playoffs, where I got a guy coming off the bench who can give me 5 to 10 rebounds and possibly give me buckets, considering how Joker plays, considering how Jamal Murray plays, considering how all these other guys play. I could get valuable minutes from him. Same logic with Ish Smith. I don't expect Ish Smith to come off the bench and give me 20, 25 minutes of 20 points or anything like that. But he can be in a solid backup role to relieve guys of minutes and maybe give me some production offensively, as opposed to we just got guys sitting here that's doing nothing.
I agree. I like Ish Smith. I think the reason he doesn't play is because he's so small. I think that's why he doesn't play. I like Ish Smith. I think he's a good
Vincent ain't that big. Gabe Vincent.
Yeah, I agree. I think if there's anyone on like deep on.
Yeah, that's what I want to know. Reggie should be on the floor.
Reggie Jackson doesn't play because he's just Jamal Murray, but worse at everything. So they have very little.
So
he's a lesser version of Jamal Murray.
He has Jamal Murray's shot selection, but not Jamal Murray's shot making.
See, I don't understand. I don't understand playing Christian Brown minutes over those guys who had that experience. I think that's what's going to kill this.
That part I don't get neither. I can appreciate the rook. He looks like he can give you some quality minutes.
He plays with energy, but yeah, he's a bit.
So Mars, are you who are you giving those minutes to? Christian Brown or Reggie?
Ideally, neither of them. I just play a 7-man rotation. But if I had to pick between one of them, I'd probably go with Christian Brown because he doesn't need the ball. Whereas Reggie Jackson is probably going to have to try to give him the ball on offense, and that just takes away from people who are better with the ball. But I think beyond like Ish Smith and maybe sparingly Thomas Bryant occasionally, no one on that Denver bench should really be playing at this point in the finals. Against the Timberwolves, sure. Against the Suns, sure. But once you got deep in the playoffs, in the finals, I'm not giving Reggie Jackson minutes.
But Spo's out here giving them other guys minutes. Spo's out here giving Cody Zeller big minutes.
Spo's a better coach than Michael Malone.
Spo's out here giving right. So, but you're no, you're not hearing what I'm saying. You're saying those guys don't deserve many minutes. You are saying that.
Yeah, for Michael Malone, yes. If Eric Spoelstra had them, yeah, sure.
You're saying, hold on. You're saying that you don't believe those guys should be getting big minutes.
Yes, for a team coached by Michael Malone.
Oh, yes. Okay. So you said because Mike Malone's a coach.
Yeah, Michael Malone's offensive system.
That's not how you think, though. That's not how you think.
I think if they was on Eric Spoelstra's team, I think he'd find a way to make them valuable.
Okay, that's all I want to know. That's all I want to know. 100%. I didn't know you were speaking from his perspective. I thought that was.
Yeah, he would definitely. Spo with 5 minutes for Reggie Jackson. He'd 5 minutes for Thomas.
I agree.
He'd 5 minutes.
Reggie Jackson's shot creation would be very valuable for Eric Spoelstra. I believe that, but Michael Malone isn't as good of a coach, so he has to minimize his rotation, because if there's someone with like glaring weaknesses or holes in their game, he's not going to play them. And that's why they got rid of Bones Highland, because Bones Highland wasn't going to be playable defensively for Michael Malone. And that's why they got Reggie Jackson, not because they needed him, but they just traded him for anything.
Mars, we got a lot of guys defensively that aren't playable. I mean, Kevin Love defensively is not a gem. I mean, he's one of the worst defensive players in the game. It's not add that to the fact that he's old, but Kevin Love is a starter. He's very much in the rotation. He can crack the long ball. So the idea that guys are egregious defensively, in your words, that really rubs me the wrong way, simply because I look at guys who, even though they're not good defensively, guys like Kevin Love, for example, there are minutes that are found for these guys because they're still valuable in some way.
I mean, Kevin Love, he's bigger, so he can rebound, which is valuable. He's also just a smart defender. Bones Highland is clueless, but Kevin Love's smart. He understands positioning. He takes charges out. I hear he's always at the top of the league in charge. He takes charges well. Right. And Miami's just a more sound defensive unit, so they can afford to have a few more question marks defensively out there. Denver have Jokic, MPJ, maybe Jamal Murray, whoever. Like they have more weaknesses defensively, so you can't just keep adding more to that. Whereas Eric Spoelstra has more strength.
If they lose game 3, does he go deeper into the bench now if they lose game 3, Mars?
No, I think he goes deeper into his starting 5. I think he just plays them even more. That's what I think happens. Jokic plays like 40 minutes, that up to like 44. Jamal Murray plays like 42 minutes, 45, 46. He's just going to play the bench less. That's going to be his adjustment, not playing them more.
That's crazy.
It might be crazy. I just think that's what he's going to do.
And Mike started growing me, bro. You started growing me a little bit. Go ahead, yo.
Moving along, Harley Biscuit Jr. said, how is MPJ supposed to get finals experience when you pull him so early? I understand if he's abysmal, but it's only been 2 games.
Got to yank him next game because you've lost home court already. being that you lost home court and Miami's going home, you can't risk losing game 3. Sometimes you have to make in-game adjustments that suit that game and winning that game. So if he comes out on that ice cold stuff, firing up bad shots and out of rhythm in game 3, and Miami's starting to take the game, I have to make a change in order to shift this thing, because I don't want to go down 2-1 facing a game 3 in Miami, because now I would have to win 3 out of 4 games to beat these guys. And that's not going to happen if they go up 3-1.
Yo Honcho said, I want to hear 5 current shooters more confident than Michael Porter Jr.
Clay.
Duncan Robinson. Oh, you can name 4 of them.
More confident. More confident.
4 of them on Miami Heat. 4 of them on the Miami Heat team right now.
Duncan Robinson, 100%.
Duncan Robinson.
Yeah, Duncan Robinson, 100%. Yeah, Duncan Robinson. Gabe Vincent. 100%. Max Strus. 100%. Yes.
Hey, you can even say Kyle Lowry get more confident in right now.
Just them 3 alone. Yeah.
And then you
when we say more confident, what does that mean?
I think he means like,
because Michael Porter Jr. don't turn down any shot.
Yeah, that's what
I view as confident. I think he like, other than Klay Thompson, it's Michael Porter Jr.
He's talking about shot selection, who just don't give a damn and shoot anything, no matter if it's hot, no matter if it's cold, no conscience. He talk about conscience, not confidence.
Klay Thompson and Michael Porter Jr. are 1 and 2 in the NBA.
But when I think about confidence, where do you get confidence from? You get confidence from knocking shots down.
No,
so
Michael Porter Jr. has a rational confidence. Make or miss, he's confident. He can be 0 for 12. The next one is going in. 0 for 13. That's what he's doing. Like that type of confidence is where I view like he's not.
Hey, see, this dude right here need to be slapped, Ron. This dude, whoever put this up here, bro, we accept your 20-piece, but you don't need to never talk about basketball again. You said the competition, Ron. Come on, bro.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Ron.
Versatile Anomaly said MJ isn't my GOAT, mainly based on the fact that during his championship runs, it was honestly very weak competition outside of Hakeem. There was no top 10 guys in their prime to really give him a run. What do you guys think?
Go ahead, chill. Go ahead, chill. Destroy that chill town. Go ahead.
There were no guys. Put that super chat up again so I can read that correctly.
Patrick Ewing, bum. Carmelo, bum. John Stockton, bum. They're all bums.
Magic, bum.
Yeah, bums.
Are we serious right now?
Michael Jordan had the second best player in every series, basically.
Barkley a bum.
Yep.
So Barkley was a bum. Magic with bums. So when they were okay. So let's rewind the clock. Isaiah Thomas was a bum too, apparently, and Joe Dumars was a bum too. So he basically had no competition. So I didn't know that in order to be legit, that you have to play top 10 guys on the regular. So when I think about LeBron James, when they were playing against the Golden State Warriors, they didn't have a top 10 player all time on their roster. Not only did they not have a top 10 player all time on their roster, Steph Curry just entered the conversation. There's some people who don't think that. But rewind the clock. So when they're in the Eastern Conference, when they're in the Eastern Conference and they're going up against the Knicks with a young Ewing who's an All-NBA performer, and then move forward to the Philadelphia 76ers with a young Charles Barkley, who's also an All-NBA performer, and then we're dealing with the bad boy Pistons, who were the back-to-back NBA champions, who they mopped out the playoffs in the first round, who were awesome. And there's no way that you would see that team. We're talking about the 1990 Detroit Pistons, who was regarded as the best defensive team that the NBA has ever seen. And then we move forward to the 1991-92 season, when they got to deal with the Miami Heat was new. Okay, so the Miami Heat were new. So I'm going to take the Miami Heat off the table. But we're also talking about now the New York Knicks, right? We're talking about the New York Knicks and the Cleveland Cavaliers, who had a damn good team with Mark Price, an all-league guard, Larry Nance, and Ron Harper wasn't on that team. I'm sorry. Brad Daugherty, who was also an all-star, and they're in dogfights with these, and they're in dogfights in a 6-game dogfight series with these guys. Now, fast forward to the next season, which is the '93 season. So now they basically handled Atlanta in the first round, sure. And then I believe it was Dominique Wilkins. Dominique Wilkins was still awesome, but they were a better team at that point, 100%. But then when they have to see, let's see, who did they play in the second round in '93? Let's see, I forgot who they played in the second round, but that New York Knicks team was a juggernaut. I mean, they had won 27 games in a row at home, and they didn't have the Bulls didn't have the home court advantage. Not only did the Bulls not have the home court advantage, they weren't picked to win that series. The Knicks were picked to win that series, and they beat them, right? So then fast forward to the 95-96 season, when he comes back fully healthy. When he comes back fully healthy, when they handle the Orlando Magic, who won 56 games that year, swept them out the playoffs, right? swept them out the playoffs, handled the Seattle Supersonics, who were also the best team in the Western Conference that year, who were in a dogfight with the Jazz. I mean, I could go on and on about the teams that they were dealing with. That Phoenix team in '93 with Barkley and Dan Marley. That was a damn good Houston. I mean, that was a damn good Phoenix team that won over 60 games. So the idea that there was no competition, that is just not true.
You said a lot of no competition right there. I'm not gonna lie to you, but I guess. Shout out to Scottie Pippen though, saving.
Yeah, you gonna let that man just disrespect. See, that's what I'm talking about. You let man just disrespect everything you just said like that. And people accepting this in the comment section. This is the type of foolishness that's going on, Chilltown. And this is the reason why guys don't show the respect to guys going forward, Chilltown. Because this is the type of stuff they do to the older generation. When all those guys you said are all Hall of Fame guys. You didn't even mention the Clyde Drexlers of the world, Chilltown.
I didn't even get to that. I completely left Portland out. Who they played in the Drexlers
of the world.
I did. I talked about Magic in '91.
Who was in the NBA Finals? You didn't mention all these guys, bro. Bro, you didn't even mention Hall of Famers like Reggie Miller and all these dudes, bro. All these guys were in the league, and Jordan was battling all these guys, bro. The Indiana Pacers, those guys were picked to beat Michael Jordan one of those years and go to the NBA Finals, bro. These dudes is trash. Just the narratives they pushing, bro. This is sad, sick, and disgusting. How many 60-win teams Michael Jordan beat in the finals, Chilltown? How many? A lot. A lot. 60-win teams. But Mars will sit up here and tell you he ain't had no competition, bro.
Mars, that competition logic doesn't work. I mean, that 97 Miami Heat team, I mean, they were a damn good team with Alonzo Mourning. And Jordan, I believe he shot one of his worst playoff performances.
Yeah, Jordan played trash.
He had one of his worst playoff performances in that series. But we talking about the competition. And there's a reason why he shot that way, because the competition was better. Same thing in '92 when he was going up against Clyde Drexler. He damn sure did outplay Clyde Drexler 100%. But that Blazer team was a damn good Blazer team, right? We already talked about the Laker team that with Magic, who finished second in the league in MVP votes, right? We forget about that Indiana Pacers team, who at that point took those to 7 games. Oh boy, was that me? I'm sorry. Anyway, okay, so who took that Bulls team to 7 games, right? So the competition in the Eastern Conference during that time was a nightmare. So the idea that the competition level wasn't good, that's completely utterly disrespectful, Moss. No way can you get away with that. No way.
Scottie Pippen made the second round in that Eastern Conference without Michael
Jordan. He did make the second round. He also, and not only did he make the second round, he lost to the team that the Bulls beat the previous year.
Shouldn't have lost.
But he did lose though. And
yeah, that's cool. That's cool. But and that's it. How many playoff games did Scottie Pippen win that year in '94? How many playoff games?
They won
3 in the first round.
Yeah, they won in the first round, and then they took the Knicks to 7, so they won 3 again. So it's 6 games.
So that's 6. And how many playoff games did Michael Jordan win without Scottie Pippen in his whole career?
1.
Okay.
Which I'm clear on, right? I get that part, but what you're trying to argue, Mars, is you're trying to argue that one guy needed another guy more. That's what you're trying to argue, which isn't necessarily true. I think that they both needed each other. I think they both needed each other equally, because as good as Jordan became with Scottie Pippen, Scottie Pippen needed him just as much. Because I don't know if Scottie Pippen turns into Scottie Pippen without Jordan. I don't think Jordan elevates his game and becomes the guy that he became without Scottie Pippen, because how good Scottie Pippen was defensively, how good Scottie Pippen was as an all-around player, what he brought to that Bulls team. I'm not sure that he becomes that good of a player without Scottie, but I can say the same thing about Jordan.
He's
all right, y'all. My good friend Fluent is joining us again. And
Hold on, Fluent. I want you to answer that, please. Mars just said Jordan's competition was basically weak in his era. What's your thoughts about that? Because you guys always say stuff to me, but I really want to hear what you got to say about that.
I think most people.
Let me go ahead and no, you're good. I'm gonna read these super chats to catch you up on kind of what's been going on.
All right.
So Versatile Anomaly said MJ isn't my GOAT, mainly based on the fact that during his championship run, it was honestly very weak competition outside of Hakeem. There was no top 10 guy in their prime to really give him a run. What do you guys think? Hold on, I got a couple more for you too. True Believer 616 said LeBron cultist calling MJ comp weak is cute when he stacked the deck to run through a weak East, but choked twice and got swept twice in the finals.
Okay, that's why Bill Russell's the great.
Go ahead, Fluent.
All right. So first of all, because the first thing in the chat was Fluent's an MJ fan. I don't even have, in terms of fandom, Jordan's not even in my top 5 in terms of favorite.
He actually hated Jordan.
I hated Jordan. So keep that in mind. So here's the thing. People who say he didn't have comp look at things, they think we're playing one-on-one basketball. And we're not. They want to look at who's a top 10 player, the Hall of Fame caliber player, the one-on-one matchup. Who was the shooting guard? I hear this a lot. Who was the shooting guard he had to face? Well, dude, you don't play one-on-one. You play 5-on-5. So although maybe, and I disagree with this, but maybe there wasn't as much star power as you might have liked or people in the top 10 all time, those teams were solid. It was more about team basketball, and they played a very different style. So to say he had no comp is just a joke. It's really a joke. He absolutely had competition. There was really good teams. Go look at their records. I'd probably see a lot of the expansion era. Great. Go look at the expansion era. Compare those teams' records to the teams today in the load management era, in the tanking era. They're not that different. So maybe you want to say the bottom 5 teams were worse than the bottom 5 teams today. Cool. You want to say the skill wasn't as good? Maybe, but skill doesn't make you a better player. And I responded to Mars and Low and Dub having a really good time on TikTok, saying people don't know how to describe players, skill sets because, they use words like leadership and heart and blah, 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 which are real things. They're intangible things that you need to have. And I use the example of Vince Carter. Vince Carter, just as skilled a basketball player as Jordan and Kobe, just as talented as Jordan and Kobe, but what did he miss? Those intangibles that you guys can't measure, so you don't like to talk about it. So back to the question. He absolutely had competition. He absolutely had very good teams to compete with. And at the end of the day, you play who's in front of you. You play your comp. You can't choose when you were born, so you beat the guys that are in front of you, and that's it. And anyone else who wants to say anything else about it is just spitting a narrative because they're trying to prove a point. No one ever says it. No one ever says Jordan didn't have comp and then says, but he's the best player. No, it's always with Jordan's not the best. He had no comp. That's why LeBron's the best. There's always a narrative. There's always an end game. And that's why I can't listen to people who say that because they haven't.
Mars just said that. Mars just said to Chilltown that Jordan had no comp, and he went through his reason why. And I thought it was disgusting because
I didn't hear any of that, so I don't know.
Let Mars get away with that bull job on his channel, man.
I just ran down why he
Chilltown didn't let me get away with it.
I'm just saying, but what you said was nasty, bro. And
it's funny. What also is funny, they'll talk about like the competition, and some people, I didn't say Mars because I didn't hear what you said, Mars, but they'll say, the record. Well, I've already showed you guys. Jordan's finals competition had a higher wins average, a higher seeding average than most of the other people that'll be in that GOAT conversation. So, how are you measuring it? You're measuring it based on their era, who they played against. And there were some really, like, if you're going to say that, even though it wasn't the same Showtime Lakers, if you're going to say that 91 Lakers team wasn't a very good team that made the finals, they were. But again, look who they faced in the East to get there. If you're going to say, the Phoenix Suns in 92 weren't a good team, or like,
they were the only team.
Houston, people always want to bring up Houston and Hakeem as the only, Hakeem's the only good time. How come Houston didn't get to the finals those other years? Because they were getting beat by the Utah Jazz and the Seattle Supersonics and those other guys. So to say that they were good, but the teams that beat them weren't good is a joke.
It is. So you talk about that, when you talk about that 91 Bulls team, that Laker team was the only team that the Bulls played in the NBA Finals that wasn't the number 1 seed. Every other team was the best team in the Western Conference. Every last one of them. And
the Lakers were number 2. It's not like they were that far off.
And the Lakers with the number 2 seed. Every other team was the best team in the Western Conference. So
listen, I'm not comparing it to LeBron, but just as a comparison, because that's the one that always made. Take away all the number 1 seeds, LeBron is still 3-3 in the finals. Take away all the number 1 seeds that he faced. He's still 3-3. So if that's your comparison, it's shoddy at best.
What's your smoke, Mars? What you got to say? I want to know.
Okay. The intangible thing that Flu was talking about, in that segment, it got clipped on TikTok. But in the segment after that, I did say these intangibles are real, by the way.
Oh, okay. In the clip, it doesn't say that.
I did say those things are real, but when that's the only argument you have, I mean, okay, cool.
Yes. Well, anyone who only uses one thing. Yeah, anyone who only uses one thing.
I did say those things do exist. I wasn't disputing that. But yeah, I mean the fact that Scottie Pippen has won 6 playoff games without Michael Jordan has won 1 without him, tells me everything I need to know. Scottie Pippen is better than Michael Jordan. Like, I don't know.
All right, y'all. We moving along. We moving along.
Joshua,
with the question that I want everybody up here to answer. He said, "Do you think DeMar DeRozan can still be a secondary star on a championship contender?"
If Michael Jordan could do it, DeMar DeRozan could. So yes.
No.
Michael
They're
Jordan.
They're the same person. So yes, if Michael Jordan could be the second star,
stop the trolling, Mars.
DeMar DeRozan could be the second star to anyone.
We've seen him. We've seen DeMar DeRozan. Like you just said, can he still be that? Well, we've seen him on a championship roster. We've seen him as a championship contender, and we saw what he did. I mean, if I'm not mistaken,
when was he the number 2 on a championship contender?
Okay, so how about the year before y'all won the NBA championship? The year before that, when they won 59 games and were the number 1 seed in the Eastern Conference. Yeah, the number 1.
Kyle Lowry was better than him.
Hey, Ron, I see how nasty you is too. You put that poll up, didn't even put my name up, and I've been cooking these Bamas the whole time. That's all right though. That's the bias against Pippen over here. That's the hate. That is the proof of the hate against me over here.
It's because you would lose the poll.
DeMar DeRozan.
Yeah, I lose the poll.
DeMar DeRozan. Michael Jordan is DeMar DeRozan is the biggest troll job I've ever heard in my life.
It's the worst. It's the worst one.
If DeMar DeRozan was like had jaw athleticism and elite defense and like the intangibles, like it's a ridiculous comparison.
I've said this,
and anyone can have elite defense with Scottie Pippen next to them.
That's not true because BJ Armstrong wasn't an elite defender with Scottie Pippen next to him.
BJ Armstrong ain't 6'6".
But even if he was, so he's 6'3".
That's not 6'6".
Well, 6. That's this big. That's this big, Mars.
Hey! Every little helps. Every little helps.
Don't fall from trolling you, Jay. Don't fall from trolling you. I'm not. Because the one thing I know that I've learned throughout the last few months, Mars has a lot of basketball knowledge. So for him to say anything positive like Pippen over Jordan or whatever is just a complete troll job that I'm not falling for. Yeah. Sorry, mate, as Ticket would say.
I mean, Scottie led those Bulls in every category besides points. So, I mean,
that's not true either.
So does anybody think that DeMar DeRozan can be a secondary star?
Don't get away with that lie. That's not true.
Who led that team in assists?
In assists, Pippen by a fraction, by less than
more assists.
No, actually, no. Jordan did actually. My bad. Jordan did
in the championship runs.
In the finals, I believe Jordan.
No, not the finals. Every year they won a ring. So 91, 92, 93, 96, 97, 98. In those playoff runs, who got the most assists on the Bulls?
I'd have to check, but it's super close.
Super
close. Fractions of a point.
It's Pippen.
Who's a better rebounder?
How much?
He got more. Why does it matter?
It's more.
It could be 0.1 or 10.5. Who cares? He got more. Who's a better rebounder between Scottie Pippen and Michael Jordan?
Better or who got more? Better or who got more?
Both.
Jordan's a better rebounder. Pippen got more because that was his role.
You don't got to do that, Flynn.
Hey,
no, I don't.
We're lying.
Hold on, Ron. Leave that donation up on the screen. This is the stupidity of guys who don't know basketball. They said
MJ had significantly more points.
Michael Jordan was better than Scottie Pippen. Michael Jordan scored more points.
I want y'all to see this stupidity.
Michael Jordan was for sure better than Scottie Pippen. I'm never going to try to make that.
Not for sure, but
don't forget the roles. Don't forget the roles.
Look at the super chat on the screen.
Yeah, so Michael Jordan's role was to be a shot chucker.
This is the lie that y'all.
MJ had 2 other stars.
Look at this. MJ had 2 stars going up against teams with 1. Bro, Gary Payton and Sean Kemp, those are 2 stars. Lion ass dude. Charles Barkley and
Dan Marley,
Kevin
Johnson.
Forget him.
Kevin Johnson.
Those are 2 stars. Liar.
Yes, sir.
Now, let's keep going.
Magic and James Worthy.
James Worthy got hurt in that series, didn't he?
James Worthy did get hurt, but it wouldn't have made a difference in that series.
Right.
James Worthy got hurt. Interesting.
Right, we don't use injuries as an excuse, Mars.
I mean, James Worthy's hurt. He's hurt. I don't know what to do.
Hold on, we can keep going. He said Jordan only played against teams with 1 star. That's a damn lie, bro.
Stockton and Malone. We can't forget them 2.
John Stockton was a star in 97 and 98.
Yes, he was.
Then the standard for a star was in the bin. So there we go. That's what you know. The NBA was.
How was it in the bin? He was an all-league performer. He was a star.
Yeah, if he was an all-NBA player, that shows the NBA was trash in 97 and 98.
No, it wasn't. With guys like Jason Kidd and Anthony Hardaway and Gary Payton, he still was on an all-NBA team.
Yeah, that's the proof that the NBA was trash. If John Stockton's an all-NBA player in 97 98.
How was that proof? How was that, Mars?
It's proof. It's definitive. I don't know what to say. It's definitive.
It's proof that John Stockton's a hell of a player.
Mars
bro, he played Shaq and Penny in the playoffs, bro. How he ain't play teams with 2 stars?
I'm sure that Mars is going to take some years off my life. He is. I'm
Mars,
100% confident.
I am praying for you, Mars.
He is. Mars is going to take some years off my life. He is.
Everyone just says I troll LeBron and Jordan disproportionately.
Hey, you got dudes in the comment section saying Sean Kemp was a bum. Sean Kemp could have had an argument for Finals MVP.
He averaged 18 and 10. I think he had an 8-year stretch where he averaged 18 and 10, and that was in a slower pace. What you think Sean Kemp would be doing today? That 18 and 10 back then, that's 25 and 12 today. Shut up about Sean Kemp
right now.
Shut up.
18 and 10 is DeAndre Ayton. I mean, okay. Start, I guess.
Not today.
I guess.
So that 18 and 10 that Sean Kemp was getting back then, that's not the same 18 and 10 today. That 18 and 10 today.
Then how come I had to hear that Giannis is averaging 30 and Hakeem never averaged 30 when I was hearing the Giannis and Hakeem argument? Where was the pace argument then?
So if that's true, then what you think Elijah?
Yeah, why did I not hear that argument when it was Giannis and Hakeem, but now it's Sean Kemp, I have to adjust the pace?
Well,
I'm bringing up Hakeem never averaged 30. It was
First of all, I never said that. He averaged 20. First of all, Olajuwon averaged 27 a game. But if he played today with the pace and how wide open it is, you're hearing it from me right now, Mars. If he played today,
an hour later, I guess.
If you're hearing it from me, Mars, if he played today, I'm sure he would be up there at around 30, 31, 32 a game, like what Joel Embiid is doing. I'm sure he would be doing that.
Thank you for bringing it up an hour later, but at the time he didn't have to bring it up. It was just
I wasn't here.
I don't even remember hearing that, Mars. To be honest,
you
didn't hear when the Giannis and Hakeem argument was being made. We had to hear that Giannis is averaging 30 for the last 3 or 4 years, and Hakeem never averaged 30.
That went over my head. I'm sorry, Mars. That went right over my head because I'm 100% confident if Olajuwon played today, he would be 30 a game on average.
But
I'm sure.
Let's talk about Penny and Shaq. They were NBA championship contenders. And Mike played those guys.
Yeah, and he lost them.
No, I'm saying, but what did they?
And then they turned around and swept them.
Right, but I'm saying that you're right. They turned around and swept their ass. And so what I'm saying is these are guys. They're saying that they didn't play no comp. These are dudes they played.
That's not.
What are you talking about, bro? They played Tim Hardaway and Alonzo Mourning. That's comp.
Right.
What are you guys talking about, bro?
And by the way, to add to your point, just so you know, that year that they played the Miami Heat, Tim Hardaway was first team All NBA that year.
Come on, bro.
He was first team All NBA.
The NBA is trash. Jesus Christ.
It's crazy.
What do you mean it was trash? Tim Hardaway. That was the 5th straight year he was an All NBA performer.
Tim Hardaway is even better than Tyrese Halliburton.
Oh my God,
dude, Jay, dude.
What's happening right now?
Jay.
What is going on right now? What am I doing,
listen, Mars is this. Listen, I love this about Mars is smart. He knows that there's a bunch of like 13, 14, 17, 18-year-old kids who don't understand he's trolling and want to believe what he's saying.
And that's where they come from. That's where they come from.
Go look at Tyrese Halliburton's averages and go look at
he's pandering to those guys because he'll get the clicks and the likes. And he's
Mars, you out here pandering? Mars, you pandering for likes?
Tyrese Halliburton is 20 and 10.
Mars, are you pandering for likes? Yes or no?
And he's getting
Tyrese Halliburton's averages.
Like, look at this old head getting all mad because he's spitting facts, and it's snowballing.
Go look at Tyrese Halliburton's averages and look at Tim Hardaway.
Bro,
Tyrese Halliburton is 20 and 10.
They're in the comment section saying Tyrese Halliburton clears Tim Hardaway Jr.
Oh my God.
Yes,
trolling you too. Don't fall for it.
Are you serious? Hey, hold on. Are you serious about this?
This is happening right now.
What did Tim Hardaway average in his prime?
No, I'm asking.
I think he was 18 and 9. He was
18 and 9. Tyrese Halliburton right now is 20 and 10 on 40%.
And the same ticket, not ticket. I'm sorry.
What are we doing?
Mars.
And he's 6'5". Tim Hardaway's at 6'2".
No, he's not that big. He was actually 6 foot.
Let me see.
Yeah, he's actually 6 foot.
Tyrese Halliburton's bigger, shoots better playmaker, better
scorer. I got yard work to do today, bro.
Yeah.
Tyrese Halliburton's a better player.
All right, what we got, yo? I'm sorry. I apologize.
Superchats.
Nate Richmond said, why does Jimmy get a pass for not doing much offensively because of his responsibilities defensively, but Jokic is doing the same on offense?
And Jimmy Butler does not get a pass offensively. No, what are you talking about? He did not get a pass.
We've been cooking him. We've been pretty much the main ones that have been cooking him throughout all the media.
So he does not get a pass. That's not true.
Zaytoven 314 said, do you increase Bruce Brown's minutes to put another ball handler on the floor and let Jamal play off ball?
I think they bring
Bruce Brown's
they bring Bruce Brown in to speed the game up. That's what they bring him in for. He's a better transition player. They don't bring him in terms of offense on the offensive end where they running stuff for him. No, they don't do that.
I would play Reggie Jackson, a dude that can hit open shots but also create his own shot.
I don't understand why they ain't playing him. I don't get why he ain't in the rotation. I don't.
They need more guys who can create on the court, in my opinion.
That's not your opinion, Ticket. That's a fact. I don't understand why Reggie Jackson is not in the rotation. I don't.
If he was in the 90s, he'd be Tim Hardaway.
Oh man. Y'all be wondering why I be wanting to punch Mars right there between us.
Ticket, you just heard me say it. Ticket, Mars gonna take years off my life, yo. He is.
Angie Carr said, Ticket onto something. Braun's decision left a shockwave in the league because top talent in free agency 2010 made their decision based on Braun.
Oh, hold on. Stay right there, Ron. Fluent, I got one question for you. Answer this question real quick. Does KD go to the Warriors if LeBron never goes to the Heat?
No.
Thank you. End of story.
Why not? I don't see how that correlates.
Why not? Okay, so I'll tell you. So what happened was, and people had done it before, but the way that the spectacle that it was done and LeBron being the best player in the world at that time, going there, opened the door for player. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but for player empowerment to say, hey, you don't have to stay in a bad situation. Go get yourself a better situation.
Right. That's what I was saying earlier, but I don't understand how come KD doesn't open the door then?
I'm going to tell you. Because LeBron did it first. So then once LeBron does that and he creates that team down there with 3 of the top 10 scorers in the NBA from the year before, I think the conversation, now we only heard rumors because we weren't there, but the conversations are KD and whether it's Draymond or whoever having a conversation, they say, hey, he did this, so why don't we do that? And KD, my understanding, and I believe Dell told us this, so I'm going to trust him because he's got a direct line to KD. He wanted to prove that he was better than LeBron. Well, how do you prove that you're better than LeBron? Go to the finals, face him, and beat him.
That logic makes zero sense, Ticket.
Why?
I mean, my fault, Ticket. My bad. Fluent. That makes zero sense, Fluent, because like joining this Golden State Warriors team doesn't prove anything. You join the team.
No, I said joining the team, going to the finals, and beating him. That was the thought process. This is what they've told us.
That's a dumb thought process.
If he doesn't,
I refuse to believe these guys are idiots.
He doesn't, whether it was right or wrong. If he doesn't go to Golden State and he doesn't go to the finals and he doesn't beat LeBron in the finals, there's no argument. But the way he proves he's better than LeBron, the way he proves he's better than LeBron is by beating Steph Curry and then beating Bron. During those 2 years, when KD goes, you got to think back. When he goes to Golden State, they go to the finals and they beat LeBron. And he's the finals MVP, the conversation now starts. Is KD better than LeBron? It wouldn't happen if he's getting knocked out in the Western Conference Finals. It wouldn't happen.
And if you're getting knocked out in the Western Conference Finals, you're not better than LeBron.
I'm not saying it's true. I'm just telling you what the narrative that they're trying to create.
Right, no, I understand. I'm not arguing with you necessarily, Fluent. I'm arguing with them via you.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. And
that's just a dumb way to think about it.
Let me ask you. If I'm on a team and I get knocked out in the first round every year, and then I go to a better team and I go to the finals and win, my legacy, what they think of me as a player, goes up, doesn't it?
Well, no, because my legacy, the way I think of KD went down. You joined the 73 win team to prove yourself.
That beat you the year before, by the way.
So LeBron doesn't go to Miami. He stays in Cleveland. They keep putting suspect squads around him that are good in the regular season but never make it to the finals again, or he goes and loses and he doesn't win a bunch of finals or finals MVPs. Is he even in the GOAT debate? Because you don't trust Cleveland. Let's be honest. You don't trust Cleveland to put a team around him to win in the finals right before he leaves and then comes back, because they don't get those 4 first-round picks or 3 first overall picks, whatever the hell they get. Although they didn't use them well, but that's besides the point. If he's not in the finals, if he doesn't win 4, if he only goes 4 times and loses, or he goes 1 and 3, is he in this conversation?
Well, I don't know. That's not what I'm talking about.
You know the answer. You know the answer.
Okay. So if he never gets back to that point, never wins a ring, then no. Okay, we're not going to talk about him that way. No. But what I'm saying is, I don't like the fact that people are trying to what they're trying to do is trying to make excuses for Kevin Durant, saying that what Kevin Durant did 10 years later is because LeBron did it 10 years before. That's absurd. That's
but it
just
wasn't 10 years
absurd.
before.
Like if you were gonna do what you were gonna do, it doesn't have anything to do with LeBron James. Nothing.
LeBron James went to
if anything, if we make that argument, then we have to say, well, LeBron did it because KG went to Boston.
KG didn't go. I believe he was a trade.
He didn't have to go to Boston. He could have went anywhere he wanted to go.
Yeah, he had a no trade clause.
But he had a no trade clause, so actually he goes wherever he allowed.
He could have went wherever he wanted to go. So if we're going to say that what Kevin Durant did 10 years later is because of LeBron, we have to say LeBron did it because of KG.
Is your argument that LeBron didn't influence the rest of the NBA, and that if he doesn't go to Cleveland, KD still goes to the Warriors?
Yeah, whatever LeBron James did, even as long as LeBron James is in the East, being a threat to Steph Curry, and as long as Steph Curry is in the West, beating Kevin Durant, I believe Kevin Durant still goes to the Warriors. I don't understand how this has anything to do with Miami.
Tone, the thing that was left out of this, which was the most important part of it, the idea was if James wins the NBA championship in 2007,
you're a jackass. You're a jackass.
It was only 6 years.
Get out of here if you don't like me. Sorry, go ahead.
Like I was saying, Tone. So the part that was left out that I don't think you heard was that if James wins the NBA championship in 2007, he doesn't go to Miami in 2010, which is now creating a shockwave. With now KD does not go to the Golden State Warriors in 2016, which goes back to the 2000. That's what I'm talking. That's what I'm talking about.
If we put some blame on Bron, do we have to put some blame on KG?
But let's be clear. I'm not putting blame on either one of them.
Fact. If you're free agent, that was my thing, Fluent. I think if anything, Bron just gave everybody a little game. Brought some fire to a cold meal. Told everybody, you know what I'm saying, know your worth. You don't have to put up with this bullshit. You can go play somewhere else.
That is my.
I don't think there's nothing wrong with
point exactly. I'm not blaming. And I know Ticket disagrees with me here, but I don't blame them. You're a free agent. Go wherever the hell you want to go. I've said this. I've left a great job for a better job because, or a terrible job for a better job because it pays more. Why wouldn't you do that? So
Tone. No, Tone. You don't. That doesn't work, Tone. The reason why, because you can't move. You can't move from Toronto to Chicago. You know why you can't move from Toronto to Chicago? Because you got to stay. You got to stay in Toronto, Tone, because that's where the money is. That's who got you there.
No.
In Toronto.
I lived in Toronto. I lived in Thessaloniki. Absolutely. I lived in Taormina. I lived in Denver. I lived in LA. I lived in San Francisco. I lived in Scottsdale. I will move for a better opportunity. So that's why I'm not blaming them for doing that. But I will. My point was, I think LeBron opened the door to say, hey, great players, you don't have to be this. I have to stay here and be loyal to my team and stay with the same team. Whether you believe that or not doesn't matter. I think he allowed other great players to say, hey, I don't have to stay here. I can go make my own destiny. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Now, you want to talk about stacking the deck and all those other things, different conversation. I don't think it's wrong. And again, I don't blame them. I say that you're a free agent. That's why it's called free. You're free to go wherever you want.
Right.
All right, fellas, we got to keep it pushing.
Yep.
Super chat along the same lines, but different super chat. Dalen said, LeBron winning don't change the fact that Cleveland isn't an attractive market, and that our piss poor front office made bad decisions.
Well, you can call it you can say it wasn't a piss poor market, but last I checked, ain't nobody flocking to Oklahoma City, but they drafted well and they did a really good job with that crew. So the idea that it's not a great market, that with the invention of
who's going there as a free agent though.
Well, here's the thing though, Tone, with the expansion of media, places like Oklahoma City, places like Cleveland, places like Minnesota became more attractive because now I don't have to worry about getting on TV. I'm gonna be on TV anyway. This isn't like it was in the 80s with the Lakers and with the Pistons, where unless you was playing the Pistons, you wasn't on TV. Unless you was playing the Lakers, you wasn't on TV. Unless you was playing the Bulls, you wasn't on TV. It's not like that now. So,
but if you can choose where you want to live,
which is why KD one of the main reasons. Like a lot of people talk about KD moving to go play for the Golden State Warriors. Sure, it was a better team, but you know what? Maybe I don't want to live in Oklahoma City anymore. I don't want to live. The Bay Area might be a little bit more attractive.
But San Francisco's really nice, especially if you got money. Especially,
I got to run around. But hey, real quick before I do go, hey, Lo, Ticket, are y'all both here?
Yeah, I'm on my wrong computer. I should have.
Hey, Lo, bro, why you ain't tell me I couldn't post a 24-hour stream on YouTube, bro? You got to look
I
out
didn't
for
know
it.
that.
Don't be knowing these things.
Ain't no one ever tried to do a 24-hour stream.
I've never. I don't know about that. Nor did I even know you were trying to do that. I don't be sure.
Well, I did it, but now can't nobody go play. If you missed it live, then you just missed it because 12 hours is the limit. Next time I gotta split it up in 3 8-hour videos.
I didn't know that. I don't stream on YouTube.
I don't think anybody knew that.
Yeah, we ain't doing no 24-hour streams. You're just better than all of us.
I don't fraud.
Let's just put it out there.
But see, I got to run around. I got to get in this yard though. But
all right, be easy, big up. Yes, sir.
Goodbye.
Goodbye is forever, Mars. We don't say goodbye around here. See you later, brother.
we say goodbye where I'm from.
Mm-hmm.
What's good?
No, you say good riddance.
No. I'm good.
Low down in the house. Low down is in the house.
I didn't even know y'all been in here for almost 3 hours, man.
Sir.
Crazy. Mm-hmm. No, it's cool. It's cool though, bro. It's cool, man.
What's up? You got something to get off, or you just joining the conversation?
No. I'll get it off if the conversation leads it to that way, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Cool.
I definitely can get under. I think I'm gonna get in the ticket and Chilltown skin. Really, just chill skin. Ticket's gonna he's gonna just go ahead and go ahead.
Back in D said losing is losing, but it's still not fair. Y'all slander Braun in 2011 more than Tim Duncan losing in the first round as a number 1 seed.
That's not true.
Tim Duncan was hurt, wasn't he? I messaged him. He was hurt.
Yes, he was.
Manu and he was hurt. Yeah,
yes,
and I mean, also back then the Eastern Conference was so weak. You know, that's why he was able to get through a lot of those finals appearances. So as soon as he faced some competent players and coaching, that's what happened. Because the coaching in the Eastern Conference at that time was egregiously bad in the East, the weak East.
Another reason why LeBron isn't the good.
Yeah, he should get coach tax as well. Like there was no real good coaches out there in the Eastern Conference. Just
respect Frank Vogel.
No.
Damn.
Respect Dwayne Casey? No.
Respect Jason
Kidd? A pretty good coach.
No. Doc Rivers?
Cam said also, if the Malice in the Palace didn't happen, the Pistons had a good chance of winning in 2005.
I had them winning the NBA championship. I had them winning the NBA championship. Yeah, I had them winning the NBA championship that year.
Anybody else?
Is that comp? Indiana Pacers.
No, it's Pacers. Yeah, it's Pacers.
Okay.
Jacko
VX said Cavs blocked Amari trade in 2010 to keep JJ Hickson.
I couldn't believe they wouldn't give up JJ Hickson for Stoudemire. That bugged me out.
You make a lot of bad decisions.
Yeah, I couldn't believe that.
What's wrong with JJ Hickson?
Over Amari Stoudemire at that time?
Good young prospect.
And he was a good young prospect. He wasn't Amari Stoudemire though.
He didn't know where the potential was.
Always trade a known for an unknown. Not always.
Well, Amari Stoudemire. Amari Stoudemire would have just got hurt, and then everyone would have said it was a bad trade. So,
or he wouldn't have had to carry so much of the load, and he wouldn't have gotten hurt, and he would have been better.
Nah, LeBron James don't make his teammates better. So,
also statistically, that's true. He doesn't make them better, but as a team, he does make the team better, though.
Yeah, Amari Stoudemire is a bad defender. Yeah.
Imagine JJ Hickson next to Steve Nash. He definitely would have looked way better.
Exactly. That's why Steve Nash is a 2-time MVP.
But Steve Nash shouldn't have been there because the Raptors should have made that trade Vince Carter for Dirk and Nash, and they would have both been in Toronto. So I
can't believe he said no to that. He was blocking with that right there.
That's why they fired him.
That's a fireable offense, 100%.
That is why they fired him. Yeah,
that is definitely a fireable offense. So speaking of bouncing, hey Ron, it's that time, brother. I got to bounce, my man. So I will see you dudes tomorrow. No doubt about it.
Yes, sir. Keeping it pushing. Pimp named Slickback with back-to-back super chats said, but to add to Ticket's point, though, with more power, more responsibility. When you are a player, GM, and don't succeed, I hold that against your legacy. He also said,
since you're doing the Spider-Man reference, please, if spoiler alert, mute the TV.
What?
Mute your thing right now if you don't want to hear.
Bro, come on.
I can't believe. Okay, I'll just
stop.
No spoiler, no spoiler.
Stop. Okay.
I can't believe they ended the movie like that.
Okay. Jesus Christ.
That's all I'll say.
Floor is on the brink of.
I don't know what I said. I had to mute.
Yeah, everybody, please.
What I said, no spoiler.
You guys didn't hear him?
No. What I said was,
what he was basically saying was,
movie like
oh man.
Oof.
Top tier a movie though.
Oh, fantastic
movie. Everybody should see that movie.
Yeah. Really good.
Hey, I got some news for y'all that just came across the dock. I want to ask y'all about this real quick. They're saying the Lakers are willing to trade LeBron James to Dallas if they get Luka back. That'll never happen.
Oh no.
So they're not. That's why we're saying they're not willing to trade. They're not willing to trade.
No.
Listen, this was excellent. This was excellent PR by an agent who told Kyrie what to do.
Yes.
Try to get LeBron here. There's no way they can make it work financially. So now they're gonna be like, oh, so you want that? And they're gonna figure out a way to get Kyrie to LA. That's all that's happening.
Literally, that's all that's happening. I can't believe people are falling for agents talking points on an early ESPN week. Like, come on.
Tell it low.
Just remember, an agent is the one that told John Calipari, who was running or coaching, I think, the New Jersey Nets at the time they were called, that if you draft Kobe Bryant, he's going to go play in Europe. There was no way in hell Kobe was going to go play in Europe, and they didn't draft him because of that. Like, don't listen to agents. Come on, man.
Hey, Lo, I got a quick question for you. What happens in your mind to all the stuff you've been saying about Jokic if he loses the series?
Nothing, because he would still be one of the greatest offensive players of all time.
Okay.
Why does that change?
Because he lost.
Because winning matters.
Yeah, exactly. What kind of question was that? That's why Bill Russell's the GOAT.
Oh.
No, but that is why he's in the conversation.
Yeah, and going back to that super chat about being a player GM and failing, that's why Bill Russell gets elevated, because he was a player coach and succeeding. And that's why he's actually the GOAT, because he was doing both jobs and successful at it. So that's another reason why.
But also, I've never said that Jokic would be that high on my all-time list. Like, he's not. It's impossible for him.
You're only talking offensively, yeah?
Yeah, just offensively. It's impossible for him to be better than Hakeem. Like, literally impossible. So there's like that's
what if he becomes better on defense?
Defense.
Yeah. What if he starts giving effort on defense?
Let's just be honest. Let's be honest. Let's be honest. Let's be honest.
I'm gonna start trolling like Mars. This is fun.
It's excellent.
It's fun. Wow. Moving along. Pimp named Slickback with another one. He said, I don't fault LeBron for leaving in 07, but in 14 he jumped ship when he saw D-Wade declining, and again went to LA when Cleveland sank. It's a mixed bag.
Hold on, what you mean he don't fault him? He's the reason why they lost the finals. Why would you fault him? They got to the finals, and he's the reason why they lost. So why wouldn't you fault him for leaving?
Facts.
You would have jumped ship after you were the reason why they lost. That makes no sense.
Facts.
PGE said, a lot of young Bucks didn't watch Scottie Pippen. He was molded by Mike. I watched 90% of Bulls games. Scottie was a choke artist and was easily intimidated by the Pistons and the Knicks.
So Michael Jordan molded him into a choke artist. Okay, good job, Mike. Well done. Great tutelage. Well done. Cook yourself.
Zane said Grilltown. Mike won 6 out of 15. That's 40%. LeBron won 4 out of 20. That's 20%. Mike has double LeBron. Now put that in your pipe and smoke it.
What's 11 out of 13? So put some respect on the road.
Fluent joining in on this is nuts. 2 Cents said, are you guys really clowning MJ in the 80s when this year the Warriors and Lakers barely won over 40 games with a lot more talent on their roster?
That's Cook, my brother. Whoever that was, salute to you.
That's a terrible way to argue, but you guys.
I will ask this.
They won like 43 or 44.
I don't know if this came up earlier, but I gotta ask. So a lot of people say if it's not for Pippen, Jordan doesn't win at all, right?
Absolutely.
Everybody says that. Okay.
Yes. That is actually a fact. That is actually a fact.
Okay, so if that's a fact, then by that fact, then he is the greatest player of all time, because you're saying no other player could have gone into that team and done the same thing or more than Pippen did. So he's the greatest player of the 90s.
At that time, probably so. I don't think there was another Scottie Pippen caliber player, like that type of player.
Who's the greatest player of the 90s?
Scottie Pippen, obviously.
Scottie Pippen.
Oh, yeah, I was just saying that 10 minutes ago. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Right. Just wanted to make sure. Make sure. And you don't believe, like, if they draft, I don't know, Karl Malone instead of Keith Lee, the Bulls aren't still good?
No, I don't know.
If they got Karl Malone, they should be playing in prison.
Tony Kukoc shown, because they said Tony was the next Mike. Tony, they was giving him the balls.
But they already had 3 championships before Tony Kukoc.
Tony, but see, with Tony, they got 3 more. So Tony might have been the real GOAT. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, anybody with the name Tony's pretty good.
Right. Yeah. Hey, it could have been Dennis Rodman with all those damn rebounds he was grabbing.
They had already proven though the only two entities that were there from the beginning to end was Scotty and Mike, and we know
but Dennis
had
won championship before that though.
Not 3 though.
As long as we're consistent, so I like.
Oh yeah, you ain't gonna worry about consistency with me. I mean, I'm extremely.
So Pippen's the best of the '90s. I guess AD was the best in the bubble.
Yep.
Kyrie was the best in the comeback, in the 3-1 comeback.
Yeah.
Dwayne Wade was the best on Miami. I just want to make sure, because without that second guy, none of these guys went. All right,
man, just like Jamal Murray's the best on the team right now.
And
Jamal Murray's the best on
the Preach. Jamal Murray has a bad game in Denver.
Murray doesn't drop 30, they can't win for
Exactly. The moment Jamal Murray doesn't play well, Denver loses. There we go, Ticket. There we go. Now we're getting.
I ain't never even thought about it like that.
Now we're getting somewhere.
Not telling me anything about Shaq, because that was all Kobe in that three-peat. And then Pau Gasol.
And then Pau Gasol then had to come around and carry Kobe.
So they're framing the finals wrong. It shouldn't be Jokic versus Jimmy. It should be Bam versus Jamal.
Bam versus Jamal Murray.
I'm not gonna lie. Let's respect on Bam right now. Let's put respect on Bam.
Sean, you're completely. It's going right over your head if that's what you think, Sean. Just right over your head, bro.
Yeah, Bam looking like the finals MVP right now.
I ain't gonna lie, let's put some respect on Bam real quick, actually. Let's put respect on Bam.
I don't even know. I think this is Caleb Martin's series. Finals MVP. Should have been the Western Conference MVP, right?
Hey,
is Jimmy the third best player on this team right now in the finals?
Gabe Vincent, Bam Adebayo, then maybe Jimmy Butler, maybe.
Is Jimmy the third or fourth best player?
It's a great decoy, bro.
Yeah, Jimmy Butler's just out there for vibes. I'm not gonna lie.
Chill wanted to chime in on it.
Oh man,
yeah, pure aura. Yeah. There we go.
Jimmy's out there for pure aura.
Appreciate you, Chill Town. Versatile Anomaly said Magic past prime. Isaiah past prime. Never called anyone a bum, just not on the level of Bird, Magic, and Hakeem in their prime.
That's a lie. Hold on.
Can I ask a question about Magic? How is he past his prime?
Right.
When he was the MVP, second in MVP.
Right.
That's the 3 years leading up to that 91. Right. That 91 series that the Bulls beat the Lakers, he was second in MVP voting. What was he, 31 years old? If you look at the definition, that is prime.
Right. Then he said, who else he said was passing?
Isaiah was hurt most of the season, only played 43 games, blah, blah. That one you can make a case for, but his teammates were 30, 29, 27. And it's interesting. It's interesting. Rodman at 29 was washed up, but then at 35, when he's a Bull, he's the greatest thing since sliced bread.
And not only that, like literally Joe Dumars and Jordan are like the same age. Like they were born like 2 or 3 months apart. Like I don't know how that argument about them being old.
That doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make any sense at all.
They went through longer playoff runs in many years before, whereas Michael Jordan was just there losing. So he didn't have as many long playoff runs. So
the 2 years before he went to the Eastern Conference Finals against the same Pippen.
Yeah, and then where did the Pistons
more games? And then Isaiah
the Pistons went to the finals, right?
Oh yeah, played 4 games, right?
Yep, there we go. So there's 4 games taxing on the buzzer. Exactly.
All right, fair.
Ages you about 3 or 4 years.
It does age you, yeah.
There we go.
Cam said LeBron played against podcasters and Twitch streamers.
Facts. Absolutely.
LeBron beats Draymond Green, and then Draymond Green does a podcast 2 hours later. Like that's not competition.
No, he's not working on his craft. He's not getting his rest, working on his craft.
Mars, really think about it. What good coach did LeBron face between 2011 and 2017 in the East?
Good coach. He went against the Charlotte
Bobcats. You can say in the finals.
He went against
but heading up to the finals.
No, even the finals.
No, Popovich.
Popovich is overrated because he had all those great players.
No.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Never mind. Chat. We're too deep into trolling, so I can't ask a serious question. Never mind. Go ahead. Go. Ron.
Tim Duncan. Tony Parker.
How are you a great coach if all you do is coach Hall of Famers?
Right. Exactly. Steve Kerr had KD, Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green. That's 4 Hall of Famers. What did he have to do? Bill Russell.
You better. I don't know about Draymond yet.
Bill Russell.
Yeah, I agree. Draymond Green isn't a Hall of Famer. The year he only had Draymond Green, the team was the worst in the NBA. That's proof. Steve Kerr's a bum.
Bill Russell coached a team of Hall of Famers and played at the same time. That's how easy it is to coach a bunch of Hall of Famers. So Popovich and Kerr aren't coaches, dude. Like, come on, they're doing nothing. They're doing nothing.
This is too much of a troll for me.
All right, y'all. We're gonna go ahead and conclude this episode.
Please, Ron. Please conclude.
It was nice of y'all to come and enjoy our trolling episode. We'll get back to serious, non-narrative talk tomorrow.
Will we?
Probably not.
Know.
Hey, Mars must have been.
I like this, Mars.
Today.
I like this a lot. I'm not gonna.
Mars is in rare form right now.
He learned that. Hey, he learned that stuff from you, Lo. All that stuff you talking about when you running around here talking about Michael Porter Jr. is trolling about missing shots on purpose in the fight. All this stuff Mars learned from you.
Exactly. I'm a Lo disciple. Without Lo, I would never troll.
Oh wow.
Well, you know what? Someone just said in the chat, and I know that they should clip this with no context.
No context.
Oh, 100%. That's what they need to do.
Also, I never said they missing shots on purpose. I just said he's trolling. That's it, bro.
No, but missing shots, hey, they do because we know that they want to keep the scores. Like the NBA is funded by FanDuel. They're point shaving, dude. Come on, come on.
Also, the ratings.
You think all these teams can just come back from 20 points just like that?
The ratings haven't been that bad either. Just for people who don't know.
All right, y'all. We got open gym next. Open gym next. The Troll Fest will continue. Also, you guys make sure to tune in to BAM later. There will be an NFL guest on the show. Pull up, check out the NFL guest, get some real game, become more fluent. This isn't the only place to become more fluent. All right, y'all. We will see you at the same time tomorrow. Be there or be square.
What NFL guest is on what show?
Tom Brady.